Are you ready? Let's go.
Hello. Oh. Hello, sorry. Welcome back. Today we are going to be playing more Cloudpunk. But, um, I, I watched back the VOD from yesterday, and apparently the volume was a bit low. So I've turned it up. You'll have to tell me how it is. Um, well, actually, you're gonna hear double here for a second, and I'm gonna pull up the stream and see how it sounds. See if I need to readjust again. I think that's gonna be good. 'Cause I have my headphones turned down and I can still kind of hear it. So, okay, that should be it for the double. Um, sorry about that. Like I said, I was watching it back and like I like the quality. I did get a new microphone. That's one thing I didn't talk about yesterday, and I think this new microphone is really good. It drowns out a lot of the background noise. I was on Discord last night, and I have like a big circular fan that was like blowing on me, and it wasn't even setting off the microphone. So like it's a really good mic for what I paid for. It's interesting. I actually got a deal where turn down that a little bit in my headphones. I got a deal where I got this microphone and Assassin's Creed Odyssey for like $80, which at the time Assassin's Creed Odyssey was like a $60 game. So I effectively got a $120 microphone for like $20. So it was a really good deal. I really think it was a good purchase. And just the audio difference between this microphone and my old microphone is kind of insane. Because at first I was like, maybe it's not worth it, but like you can't really hear as well the keystrokes, which was a big problem that I had, especially when I was in Discord, where if I tapped anything on my keyboard, it would just set the mic off, and it was just like, I hate being that guy who's making the constant noise while other people are talking or playing games or whatever, and you're like, well, you can do push to talk or whatever. Problem is I haven't found a good push to talk button because I end up playing games that use like all of the keys. This game is obviously an exception. Because it doesn't use any of the keys, basically. Well, it doesn't use, like, the mouse very often. But yeah, I end up playing games that use a lot of keys, so I'm like, okay, well, I'll make this my push-to-talk. Oh, wait, that's my run button, or that's my crouch button, or that's my sneak button, or, whatever. And it's just like, well, what do I do? Turns out that it's much harder to find a push-to-talk button. But I am thinking about getting one of those, like, little external, like, lab streaming, I don't know what they're called. They have, like, rows of buttons, and you can set, like, presets. I wouldn't mind getting one of those and, like, setting up probably here. And, I know you can't see my desk, so I could be pointing into the abyss right there. Or right there. Anyways, getting it and setting it up so that way I can easily, one, transition between scenes, but also put, like, sound effects. That way I can, there's one thing I was gonna do. Oh, like death counters. I want to add like when we end up playing more difficult game, because I do want to kind of do a Dark Souls playthrough, because when I did last time I did Dark Souls on my channel, it was a little bit after Dark Souls 3 came out, and my computer at the time wasn't strong enough to run OBS, the Chrome that you run uh, your Twitch stuff in, like the dashboard. It has a name, the dashboard. Um, it didn't have enough power to do OBS dashboard and Dark Souls 3. So when I was fighting one of the hardest bosses at the time, I think it still is. Well, yeah, still. Anyways, I was fighting the Nameless King in Dark Souls 3, and I was getting no iframes. And the problem is like, you could technically fight him with no iframes if you use a shield, because, you know, you can block the damage. I was doing a no shield build, which means I had to dodge roll everything. Well, the dodge roll only works if you have iframes. So, I think that was the last time I played Dark Souls on this channel, so I wouldn't mind going back through. I've beaten all 3 of them, but with the first one, I don't remember if I ever did Manus and whatever the Calamite? No. Yeah, I think that's Calamite. The dragon in there. I'm pretty sure I did, what's his face? The Guts ripoff. The Wolf Knight. Why can't I remember his name? Sad day. But I think I did him, but I didn't do the other 2. In Dark Souls 2, I didn't do any of the DLC, because I literally played it through, got to the end, was like, cool, I think it was a good game. And then I never played it again, even after all the DLC came out. I definitely haven't done Scholar of the First Sin. And then Dark Souls 3, I've played all of that, including the DLC, but I think playing them in, you know, sequential order is just more fun that way. So we'll probably, at some point, I don't know if that'll be in the near future or later on, but yeah, I wouldn't mind getting a setup with the little button thing so I can do a death counter for something like that, so I can just be like, boop, we died, boop, we died. Because it's going to happen a lot. Probably due to gravity. And some of the bosses. But I wouldn't mind doing that. But I do have, I don't know if I can get it to work properly, but I do have this. This is actually something that came with my drawing monitor. I got a Wacom drawing monitor, and this is used to do hotkeys. So like, this is a little spinning touchpad wheel thing, and there's like all these buttons. So I might try to see if I can set this up to do stuff with like OBS or the stream or whatever, and we'll see where that goes. Give me just a second. I am adding one thing on there. There we go. I like having that on screen. I think I'm also going to spend some time today. I just downloaded Streamlab OBS. I've been using like regular Studio OBS. Apparently Streamlab has a bunch of like pre-made templates that allow, because like this thing you see I just added is text that I'm editing. Like every time someone follows here, it's not automatically updating. I have to go into the text, select the one, make it a 2 or 3 or whatever, and then save it every time, which isn't very efficient. It's you know, it wastes my time for you guys to enjoy the game. So if I can get Streamlabs or something to do that for me, I will. But like I said, I might see if I can get this to do stuff, because it has, like you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 buttons at least. Technically 10. I'm not sure if these 4. Well, I guess, yeah. So that's like 14-ish, 15 technically. So, but we'll see. We'll see if I can get this to work. Because if I can get this to work, I can just be like, death, you know. Boop, 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 boop. Just hit it every time I die. So, we'll see. We'll see if we can get that to work. If not, then I might look into one of those, like, I think it's called a Stream Dock, maybe? We'll see. But I think they're like 60, 80 bucks, unless they're more expensive. Unless they've gotten more expensive, which could be the case. They might do more things now. Like I said, I just want to make it a more fun viewing experience, have little things happen for you guys, make it more interesting to watch. Sorry, it got a little bit darker outside. When I first started, it was like there was like light coming in against my face, so I'm just making sure that the green screen looks okay. Yeah, once again, if the audio is too loud or too quiet, just give me a listen. We're gonna jump into Cloudpunk now. Yeah, and I did. If you notice, it's not minimizing itself. That's because I'm actually running it in windowed. Because it only has windowed or full screen. It doesn't have borderless, unfortunately. But instead of doing a display capture, a little peek behind the curtain, instead of doing display capture, I'm doing window capture. So that way you don't see this big bold white line at the top of the screen that I see. So let's get into it, because I remember we had just found a new district. Excuse me for a second. Well, found. We had just gone into a new district because someone sent us in that direction, and we were about to start exploring it. So, let's get to it. And I think this was a pretty good camera placement from what I saw, because before I was down there, and I was blocking the text, and I tried to go like above the pictures, but then like it was weird. So being up here, I think is the best place, because the quests show up there, the map and some information is down there, and then like the text shows up in the bottom left. So I don't want to block any of our information. They like not using the mouse. All right. Okay, we're down here. Okay, so we need to go over here. There's 2 people to talk to. Grab these items. And by the way, if I look towards your face, if I look towards this direction, it's because my chat's right here, so I can look over and see chat. I just wanted to check something. Oh, that's really interesting. So, in this map, it's structured like this. But in this map, it's reversed. It's like completely rotated. I think that's because north is technically down this way on the compass. If the camera rotates, you'll probably see it, like if we go over here. Yeah, there it goes. See? Now that north is facing up, it's rotated back around. Dynamite Simpson. Hi, Dynamite Simpson.
Hey, come here a minute.
Oh, Lord.
I'm busy.
Wait, I just want to talk. You're not from around here, I can tell.
Because of my dark, exotic eyes, right? Give me a break.
No, because you obviously don't realize who I am. When someone around here gets my attention, they're flattered.
You're right. I don't know who you are. Let me finish my coffee in peace, please.
I'm Dynamite Simpson. Even if you haven't heard of me, you'll have heard one of my music projects for sure.
If you say so.
Look, I'm in need of some authentic Eastern fashions for my next music video. I see that embroidery on your sleeve. Eastern Peninsula, right?
You're a music video director?
I'm a record exec, video director, entrepreneur, guitar player, social media hub, brand construction technician.
He does everything
And
himself.
you want my sleeve?
Not exactly. I'd like to use the floral design in the background for my next music video.
Much as your cultural appropriation of my favorite cardigan sounds tempting.
Tell me a little more about your people.
I really don't feel
Wow.
I bet your people enjoy my music, even there, beyond the city.
like it. I don't think we do.
Perhaps playing my music requires technology beyond your means.
We're not savages. We're farmers. And we have our own music.
Your own music? Your own fashion? How novel. I must learn more. How could I learn about your people's music? Did you grow up playing tribal drums?
What? I grew up playing Bach.
So you're a musician.
Not anymore.
Shooting begins in 5 minutes. I'll learn more about your music, but for now, can I take a photo of that design?
If you pay me.
Perhaps, if you tell me more, what does the pattern mean?
It's a catapult. For my people, it's a gift mothers give their daughters to protect them.
From?
Predatory men.
Really? This'll be perfect in Dolly's next video.
I have one in my pocket. I brought it from home. It's dried.
Really? Might I have it?
Show me the limbs.
Here, take them. You would really allow me to have this? Sell your cultural gift from your mother?
Sure, I gotta eat.
Excellent. I think this will look fantastic in Dolly's hair in the music
Interesting.
video. Pleasure doing business with you. I must go, but we might speak again.
Goodbye.
Very, very interesting.
Oh no, your mother's flower. You gave it away.
Mom didn't give that to me. I found it growing near a sewage plant. I used it as a bookmark.
Does it really protect women from predatory men?
It's just a dead flower, Camus.
Here.
He got played.
Thanks.
I look forward to.
Holdo. Actually, hold on. Hold on, Holdo. Pick up. Bring suspicious item to Corpsec? Remote detonator? Don't like that. Interesting. Hi, Holdo.
Hey, you okay?
Yes, I'll be fine. I just need to rest for a moment. Maybe some food.
Are you from the Eastern Peninsula?
No, from the steppes. My name's Haldo. Was a dentist.
Rania, driver. So what went wrong?
Everything. Hyper-gentrified rent closed my office, a debt corp took my augments. The wounds didn't heal. I was in pain. I started with Jews and worked my way up the periodic table of painkillers till I got here. So numb I could barely see.
Take some money for food.
Thank you, Rania. Your people are always decent. You know, I always wanted
Poor
to see
people.
the Eastern
I don't like when
Peninsula
people
one
say
day.
that.
Maybe you will.
What a lovely smile you have when you tell a kind lie, Rania.
I've never liked that terminology, your people. Just... We'll turn this into Corpsec when we get done exploring. Coffee guy. Wait. Oh, that's who we have to talk to.
Star Coffee is the only canned coffee
It's falling. Ah, one of the buildings fell into the abyss. By the abyss, I mean the water. But I guess it's technically an abyss too. At least deep water can be an abyss. You could never reach the bottom. Okay, I think that's everything. Okay, there's someone to talk to on the side, and then what looks like the coffee guy. There's Danya? Is that how you say it? Danya? Danya.
Excuse me, I see you sell old stuff. Do you know what this is?
Pass it here. Let's see. Oh my.
What is it? I thought maybe an old music storage.
Music? No, not at all. This is a game. An old one at that. Where did you find it?
Actually, it was near some trash.
No, I don't believe it.
So it's an antique.
Oh yes, this was played on a Spectrum home computer. 48K. You needed an interface to make the joystick work. Kempston or Protec. Otherwise you had to play on the rubber keys.
Even the words I understood in that sentence didn't make sense.
It's like this, you see. You put this tape into a tape recorder first and...
Nope, still no clue.
Long ago, information was
That would be
stored
a
on
tape
magnetic
recorder,
tapes.
not tape
You see
recorded.
the strips here? These wound round playheads, or something like that. No one knows exactly how it operated now, but we can feed this into our comprehender and it gives us executable code.
So this was a game people played on a screen?
Oh yes, it would take a long time to upload the data to memory, and the executable data itself is tiny. It's hard to comprehend how our progenitors managed to work within such strict memory constraints.
You're really into this stuff, aren't you?
I'm interested in the technology, sure, but what really fascinates me is this game. You controlled a little sprite. You walked along a street and you punched everyone you came across. We believe these old games were deeply symbolic, like Sisyphus with the rock.
So they were morality lessons?
We collectors believe so. I think every one of these
Streets of
graphic
Rage is not a
games can
morality
teach us a
lesson.
What did punching people in the street teach us?
Metaphorically, it is telling us that we cannot simply fight urban decay through physical force. You see, in this game, when you win, you start again.
So the cycle repeats.
Exactly. So through the game, we learn that the violence is entertainment, but the creator of the game seeks to tell us that violence is also pointless.
These old games were pretty deep. How did this end up lying on the street?
There's plenty of other street vendors who are collectors like me.
No, I can't think of
One
a beat 'em
them,
up that
old Sinclair, he died last week. And you're not really allowed to own this
Cycles.
stuff. If Corpsec catches you,
Oh, I'm sorry about Mr. Sinclair.
he was in the zone that fell into the sea last month. Can't be helped. You should keep your eye out for more of these. They may be scattered all over the city.
You'll pay me for them?
I sure will, as long as you keep it quiet. In fact, I can even show you this one if you like. It has a 2-player mode. We can punch people in the street together.
Maybe another time. Just the limbs are fine.
Oh, you can't see the achievements now. Oh, interesting. It says like load blank enter. Talk to coffee guy.
I saw you looking at me from over there.
I was just going to ask if this was the only coffee place in this zone. I'm from out of town, and this coffee is...
Like Hova oil?
Well, I was going to say it's below average, but yeah.
No, this is the only place. I've been coming here since I was in my teens.
You look like you're still in your teens.
It's the coffee. It's done in my growth.
So you're actually...
75.
Well, Grandpa, it was nice to meet you.
Hey, wait up. What's your name?
I'm Rania. I drive deliveries, and I've got another job coming up, so...
Do you, want to do something?
Are you asking me on a date?
No, I mean, we could just do something and see what happens.
Do something. How specific?
We could...
Come on, coffee guy. What could we do?
Bowling.
Ew.
Shooting. I know a range downtown. They let you fire the big pulse rifles.
I don't like pulse rifles, or any guns, really. They tend to get aimed at people a lot.
We only shoot targets.
I believe the humans and the targets can coexist peacefully.
What about pizza?
Better. What kind?
Artichoke and avo? From the new hipster place uptown.
Ooh, a swing and a miss. Sorry, coffee guy. Maybe some other time.
If I see you here again, I'll have thought of something you like, Rania.
We'll see.
Flirt. Yeah, that's about right. That was the achievement that popped up. Alright, let's go turn this. Hopefully we don't get arrested for turning this in. Be like, hey, we found a detonator. You did a what now? Arrest her. My bad. Maybe that's why there's these corpsec clerks everywhere.
Hi. Or someone who might know what...
Ma'am, what is this?
I don't know. I found it. I think it might be...
Give it to me. Now.
Yes, I was just going to. I came to you.
Is this some kind of scam?
You know what? I'm just going to leave.
What does this button do?
No idea. Bye then.
Stay here. I am going to get to the bottom of this.
You go ahead. I have no idea what that button does, though, so for safety's sake, I suggest you...
Nothing happened.
Did you just press that? I literally just said...
Nothing happened again.
Stop pressing the button.
Ma'am, I'm going to ask you to step back, please.
Fine. I don't want to be around you while you press a big red button on what looks a lot like a detonator anyway.
Wait. Something happened. A light came on. There's words on the screen.
What does it say?
I can't read it.
Let me see.
Here.
I can read this. It's Arabic.
And?
It says, please don't press this button again.
Oh.
I swear, that's what it says.
All right then. Well, I'd better ask my supervisor about this. Please move along, ma'am.
Does your supervisor speak Arabic?
No. Why?
No reason.
Wow. All right. Let's go. This is where apparently where our coffee is. So we'll have to come back here. But we're gonna just work our way around. So we'll go up here. Excuse me, clear this out. Clear that out, come back, grab our coffee, start our next mission. So we need to turn around. Nope, yeah. There's the room. The same way. What? Go up a little bit. Come this way. Here we go. Whee! Okie dokie. Back on the road again. There's the gas station, which means that the next place should be coming up. Do we take? Yeah. It's gonna be a bit of an off-road, so go up a little bit. Take a turn. Up this way. Oh, this is interesting looking. Fulcrum Center. Oh, that was the parking. Oof. It's got some busy parking. Busy, busy, busy. There we go.
Upgrade your neural asset to the macula bias core today.
We go like here. Can we push E to go back to our vehicle? No. Okay. You actually have to walk back to your vehicle from here. That is unfortunate. Okay, let's see. We need to check if these two are up, because this is down, this is down, this is down. These two look like they're up, and this is down, so. Cherry Pie Cellar, I see that person down there. Alright, so that elevator works. I wonder what's up with the other one. Alright, merchant, what you got?
Here's what I...
Sell jacket. Oh, electronics. Didn't know.
Thanks.
I look forward.
Oh, maybe the reason he sells electronics is because we'll need some for the elevator. Because that's what we need.
We'll 3D print your subconscious while you wait.
So that's
Something you can hold.
what the other one needed. Electronics. Yeah, I think that's what why he sells them, is because the broken elevator on the other side is gonna need him to work. So go ahead and head over there. Let's see, where's that at? Okay, so we gotta go back up the little bridge and across. Camera change. There we go. Try to get used to the camera changes, because when it turns, it changes the direction that your keys are actually going. So instead of like holding right, if the camera turned, if I hold right, I'd like go a different direction. So every time I think there's gonna be like a camera switch, I just take my hand off the keyboard and let it, just to see where the camera goes. Other electronics. Let's see. And punch card. Alright, that's the punch card. But there was a... Okay, there it is. I was like, I thought the broken elevator was over here. It is. It's just on a turn that I didn't have to take. Oh, I see. the reason why this one is because it goes up. Like, requires electronics. Cool. So you could either find one, or you could buy one off that merchant back there. Okay, so the only way you can reach these is if you fix that elevator. Because the other one, I think, goes down, so... Oop, that's a light bulb. Another punch card. So it definitely seems like they do gate some of the punch cards behind other, like, elevators you have to fix or other content and stuff. So I feel like there's, gotta wait for the elevator to come back up. Hello, elevator. There it is. So I do feel like, in order to complete that mission, we're probably eventually going to have to push the main story to get to certain locations. Because there was that one spot in the last place we were at where there was an area that was completely blocked off. And as far as I found, there was no way to get through that, so... Alright, this elevator goes down. Speaking of which, it's down. Is it on one of the parking spots? No, it's below. Got it. Okay. Hopefully everyone's doing okay today. I know with the this state of things, it's been kind of hectic and hard on people, so hopefully, a hand? That's a hand. That's district. But with the state of things, people are having a real rough time. So hopefully this stream can give you a place to hang out and chill.
Lady.
Yeah, but where would you get real cherry?
Lots of places. Orchards up in the spire, growing beds down in the vents, one of those labs that grow
I'm not talking hypothetically here. Where did you get those cherries?
Wherever you like, lady. I find the best way to enjoy the flavor comes from tasting with your imagination.
They're not real cherries.
And I find the best way to avoid food poisoning is to know where my cherries come from.
I swear, these taste exactly like cherries.
That is not a normal thing to say about actual cherries.
You want a slice or not?
Yes. No. I can't decide.
Have you even tasted real cherries before?
Probably.
Back home, they were my favorite.
The Eastern Peninsula?
Yeah.
Well, you'll love this pie. A genuine slice of home. What do you say?
No, actually, I'm good.
Suit yourself, country girl.
Can we actually not get a piece from him?
Change your mind.
Oh, you can. Piece of cherry pie. Why not?
I'll probably be back.
Much better.
Braver than I thought. Oh, you speed. Falconer. Oh, he actually has a falcon.
Hey, you interested in having your photo taken with this magnificent creature? Just 100 limbs.
No.
Wouldn't you like to know his name? He is Norman.
Hi, Norman. Is he a real bird?
Norman isn't a bird. He's a falcon.
A real one?
Well, he's not a hologram.
But is he a real falcon or is he artificial?
Ah, I understand your question now. You must think this is based on an animal. This is not. It is a unique creation. A falcon.
I've seen falcons before.
No, you must be mistaken. Perhaps you have seen a sparrow. They are very similar. You see,
Sparrow.
I specialize in chimeras.
Falcon.
What are chimeras?
Wingspan.
Well,
not,
you know, there's a huge market for
not
artificial
the
animals,
Sparrow
especially
is
those
more
that
like
are
that.
rare
Falcon is
or
more
extinct.
like that.
Chimeras are different. They are artificial animals which never existed, created from the imagination
That's not what
of
chimeras
man.
are.
But I told you I've seen a real falcon.
Ah, where?
Well, they're extinct now, I guess, but I saw them all the time when I was young. I'm from the Eastern Peninsula. They would circle around the farm in the summer, until the big dust storms hit back in the year of the dragon.
Listen, lady, I need you to do me a favor.
Okay. What?
Please leave, and don't tell anyone that there are real falcons, huh?
Sure, but why does it make any difference?
When people know they're looking at something that once existed instead of something that never could, they get depressed. And sad people don't spend money.
I disagree. Alright, is there anything else down here? Yeah. We don't have a sign. Jimmy.
Hey, got a minute? Sure, you got a minute. Who doesn't have a minute? It's less than 60 seconds. Near enough, right?
Chill out, man.
Jimmy is the name. Jimmy, roll high.
I don't really have a minute.
You're wondering about the hands, right? You gotta know. Everyone does. They always ask me about the hands. I always say the same thing. I do.
What is this guy
I always
on?
say if the shuffle wasn't working, they wouldn't have needed to break them. I'm right, right?
Were you cheating at cards?
Roll high. Wasn't I clear before when I says my name? Sure I was. You was listening. You're a clever lady. I got in trouble because I could roll double sixes every single time.
Really?
Near enough. Near enough that they broke my hand for it. Then when I learned with the other, they broke that too. Now, if I could just get some limbs for augments, I know I could make the money back for you at the table.
I'm not interested. Sorry.
You'll be back. They always comes back. I got the skills, lady. You're gonna invest in them one day. I'm telling you.
No. No, I'm not. I will not be feeding your habits, sir. Alright. That's it for this area. Well, let's see. Alright, so we're gonna go east, north, east, and then to the parking.
Remarkable retina implants.
Then we'll get our coffee and figure out what trouble they want us to get into now.
Your eyes.
Mumble, mumble. Mumble, mumble. Cookie. Alright. Back to the road. Try not to run into anything. This turn. This thing's down the road. It basically goes the same way. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Except we bump into things. Oh, perfect. Parking's like right here. Sewers. That's a terrible thing to name your district. gang member 2.
That unlicensed jazz in Novellis is punishable by death. Those
Can't
who
we
wish
talk
to
to gang member
experience
2?
or perform
There we
the
go.
task must
Hey, Block
select one
4-0,
room.
are you
Ah.
still fighting the system?
Hey, it's Cloudpunk. Damn right we are.
We're fucking this shit up.
How exactly are you fucking this shit up?
We're making a motherfucking playground, dog.
You know, I don't think I've ever heard any other gangs that talk quite like you do.
What's the matter, Cloudpunk? Our speech too fresh for ya?
No. Did you watch a lot of old movies, maybe?
It ain't about what we say we're gonna do. It's about what we do and how we do it.
I guess so. I can't believe you're making a playground.
Playground.
The corps don't want the kids playing no more. We ain't gonna let them take our swings.
You got a problem with that, Cloudpunk?
With you making a playground for kids? No, I think it's kind of amazing.
You hear that, Razor? She thinks I'm amazing.
You're all right, Cloudpunk. You ever get yourself a small human, you bring them here to play on the swings.
That sounds rough. Get yourself a small human. Alright, let's see. Alright, so this is going to take us across, but we're going to go up, grab all these, we'll go across here, grab that stuff, and then come back that way. So. Efficiency. Except that this item is actually... Oh, can we not go to this little... Oh, it looked like on the map it looked like there was a little path, but I guess you can't do that. Should grab this first. Okay. What am I stuck on? Oh, there was a pole there. Bunch of cod. Oh, there's definitely more, probably another 20 more of these cars at least. I think we have 21 currently, yeah. What you got, merchant?
What you looking for?
Undernet classes. Oh, cool.
Thanks.
Hey, come back in.
Oh, we can't go through here. See, this is what I'm talking about. There's stuff blocked off. Which means we'll probably end up having to go back there anyways. It's interesting. I was actually playing
Thanks. See you again.
Trove last night, which has a much more blocky box of look.
Welcome to my humble red.
Roach meat kebab. No, thank you.
Thank you.
Don't let it.
So I was playing Trove last night. It has a kind of a similar art style, not cyberpunk, but this kind of like voxel people and things are made out of boxes. Graphics. And when I was playing last night, I hadn't played in like at least a year, but the Steam thing said like 2 years. And they reset everything. So I'm actually having to go back through. The thing is I feel like it's more streamlined now. Because when I was playing through, I remember like getting to certain places and like starting to struggle, and like the loot wasn't as kind as it could have been. Alright, let's go get us some coffee. So we just need to go straight south. But yeah, it was, so far it's been kind of like interesting to replay it, but at first I was like, oh, that kind of sucks, but then I like realized like I actually don't mind leveling again, so it's been kind of fun. Just re-leveling through everything. How are we doing gas? We're good on gas. But yeah, I was playing that last night and really enjoying it again. So I'm interested to keep going and maybe get past where I was before, because there's so much more content. Like they added something recently called Delves, which I think are like multiplayer dungeons, which is interesting for that game because the way that game works, there's classes, right? But the classes have like 3 to 4 abilities, I think, and like that's it. I think it's 3. 1, 2, 3. It may be 4. And we passed our turn. That's probably what this was for. And that's exactly what that was for. And if Devils are like, you know, multiplayer dungeons or whatever, it's interesting that game because the classes don't have roles, right? You don't have things that are like, this is definitely a tank or this is definitely a healer. So, be interested to see how the delves work, if they work like regular dungeons or if they're just like hard dungeons or something. I don't know. Where are we going? Yeah, okay. So, I'll probably play more of that tonight. Also, possibly play some League with my friends. Alright, Neo.
Welcome to Neo's Neo Cafe. I'm Neo. What can I get you?
Oh. I wonder if we get a... If we go with a Nivacina, does that count as coffee? Yeah, it does count as coffee. Okay.
Thanks for this.
Have a spectac...
There we go. Hi, Camus.
Hello. Is that you?
Camus, why are you calling me on the comm? I'm on a coffee break here.
I have a reason.
Is the reason that you don't like being alone?
Yes, that is it. Is it okay?
It's fine. I'm glad of the company.
Why do you need the coffee?
I've never worked night shift before, Camus. Coffee creates the illusion that I'm actually still awake. You wouldn't understand. You don't sleep.
I sleep.
I guess you go offline and recompile your source code. That's a bit like sleeping.
I sleep.
Okay, I heard you. Tell me what you found out about Cora.
I found 3 different types of things about...
Camus, this data analysis and retrieval, it's not that you can't do it, it's just it's a bit dry. Why don't we let the generic automata take care of this part? You can go offline for a bit.
Sleep.
Sure.
Custom personality Camus offline. Generic automata reinstated.
All right, Mr. Personality. Tell me what we know about Cora now.
3 distinct data points of origin for Cora. 2 deprecated and accessible only via the underweb. Warning, your automata was detected accessing this information and your identity was compromised.
Shit. Well, too late to do anything about it now. Tell me what you found. Give me the official data first.
Cora is a term colloquially used by citizens of Nivalis to refer to the combination of AI and mechanical systems, which manage the logistical and maintenance systems operating throughout the city.
I knew that much. Go on.
As an anthropomorphism of a mercurial personality, it is unclear if Cora exhibits a form of sentience or sapience. Best data suggests Cora is fundamentally inconceivable by human intelligence, existing just beyond the event horizon of biological minds.
Not helpful at all. Why do people keep talking about Cora then?
Day-to-day usage of Cora in conversation invokes the term in the same way one might talk about fate, luck, or serendipity.
Example?
I checked my balance and I'm all out of credits. Cora knows where it all went.
There are 2 more data points for Cora?
Yes. One from City Archive in a defunct data pool called the Internet. Another from a
defunct
paper-based
data pool.
text
That's
called
not what the Internet is.
Exegesis, a pseudo-historical book scanned and OCR'd 109,572.75 days ago.
Read me the extract of the exit whatever.
Reigning atop a hierarchy of smaller automatons, VIs, androids, and machines, Cora is the last of the 12 founders. Complex AIs that formed an advisory council for the human rulers of the city. Why did the founders fail? Did their source code encounter insurmountable logical errors? Or, worst of all, did the founders choose to abandon humanity? And if so, will Cora soon make that same choice?
What's your confidence rating on the accuracy of this information?
11.40%.
Higher than I thought. Does everyone in the city know this stuff but me?
Cora is commonly discussed, appearing in up to 0.8% of all communication, but little substantive, verifiable data exists as to its nature.
Read me the last data, the one from the internet.
Cora, computer-operated recycling agent.
That's it? I don't know how this
Computer-operated
relates to hackers
recycling
or
agent.
AI.
No further data available.
Make a copy of that exegesis thing to local storage, encrypted.
Exegesis.
If I get a data
Interesting
violation,
name.
I don't want to lose access. And bring Camus back online.
Activating custom automata personality, Camus.
Did you find out about Cora?
More or less. I don't know what I was hoping for.
Will you get food too?
Not hungry. Hey Camus, have a look at the cafe menu. Do you see all the different types? If you drank coffee, what type would you order?
Donut coffee?
That's not really...
Oh no. I said something dumb?
Actually, Camus, I think donut coffee sounds pretty great.
Upgrade. Vertical repulsor. Oh, that probably helps us go. Where's the nearest engineering station? We're going there. Start up and down is like slow. But I hope it doesn't, it's not like the other one where you have to activate it now. See, this is something that does unfortunately irritate me about this game. It stays in your inventory, which means there's a chance you could accidentally sell it. I guess you'd have to sell it at one of these people, so the chance is a little bit lower, but... Alright, hover repair, yeah, let's go ahead and repair it. Vertical repulsor. These souped up repulsors with ceramic coils are almost no drag for quicker ascents.
That
Yes.
is awesome.
Yes, most definitely yes. Okay. Going down still slow, but what about up?
Driver 14FC, are you
Yeah, up
out of
is
your
faster.
hover?
I was on a break.
There are no breaks for me or for you. Have you seen the vids?
No, why?
More accidents in Sector 21. No, Sector 23. Or is it 21?
Bombings?
Not sure. This is bad for us. We've lost more drivers this week than in the past year.
Everything okay, Control?
I don't know, kid. I don't know. What's your real name? I'm tired of numbers.
Rania.
I'm gonna look out for you, Rania. Things will get better after tonight. I promise. We just need to get through this one night.
What's your name, Control?
I'm not supposed to say. Goddamn.
Is something going wrong over there? You sound...
It's all wrong here. Maybe I'll tell you after this job.
Okay. What you got for me?
In Gallows Row, there's an old escalator called the Ascension. Someone at the base wants to surrender a package of their belongings.
Where does the escalator go?
Trust me, Rania. This job will be much easier for you if you don't ask that question again. You're looking for a guy named Gil. Oh, and one more thing.
Yeah?
Enjoy your coffee. All I got is a bottle of sake stashed in my desk drawer, and tonight I'm having a drink. If they're not happy with that, they can fucking fire me.
Nice.
That's a headache, Control.
Alright, so we need to pick up package up over here and take it to Gallows. Did we clear Gallows? I thought we cleared Gallows. We'll have to check that when we head that direction. Hey, don't bump into me, man. Yeah, the Ascension's definitely faster now. I just wish the down. Maybe we'll unlock that down version. I don't know. That seems a little faster too. Maybe it's both. I don't know.
4, 6, and 8.
Okay. Is it up top? Nope, it's below. So we need to take this. Collect Gil's belonging. Alright. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, we were talking about Trove before, the whole coffee, Camus, Cora, control thing. It's a lot of C's. Camus, Control, Cora. But yeah, Trove has a similar art style, but well, it's actually Gil. Let's see how this goes.
Are you the delivery person?
Rania, yeah, I'm to take your package.
It's everything. My limbs, comm, holocrons, augments, everything I own.
Why?
Make sure my family gets it.
Oh.
Just drop it in the post. I can't leave the queue or I'll lose my place.
Are you sure about this?
Yeah. A chance to see the spire. I gotta take the shot. I get to go above the clouds.
Is it safe?
Sure, yeah. Of course.
Okay then. Good luck, I guess.
Hey, thanks. Maybe I'll see you around.
Maybe.
That sounds fishy. Hello, Control.
Hey, Rania, you met that guy going on the Ascension? Is he really going through with it?
He says the Ascension takes him to the spire.
It sure does. And no further.
What do you mean?
It's an escalator to nowhere. It just ends.
Then what?
Well, then he falls a few miles down into the sea.
Who would build an escalator that goes nowhere?
You think everything in the city is logical? Look around, Rania. None of this makes sense. The city AI has gone mad.
He said it was safe.
Before he gave you all his possessions?
He knew?
He knew.
I don't get it.
You lived outside Navalis, right? So you've seen the sky. You've got that memory. I've never seen the sky. I can live without it. But imagine you'd seen it just once. What would you do to see it again?
How's the sake control?
You don't drink, right?
Fair enough.
You should try it sometime, Rania. When things are going wrong, it's a great way to keep yourself trapped in the long right now.
Are you a poet now, Control?
You know it.
What should I do with his possessions?
Well, he stiffed us on the bill. His payment was rejected. So if you got anything from him, you should return it to a Cloudpunk delivery chute nearby to cover his debt.
What about his family?
Let me make this as clear as I can, Rania. I don't know if he gave you something or if he gave you nothing. But I knew if he gave you something, I'd have to tell you to return it to Cloudpunk HQ. Control out.
Uh-huh.
He sounded different. Are we going to take Gil's things back to Cloudpunk HQ?
Well, everything's packaged and postmarked. So, if we dropped them at the mail office, they'd get back to his family and Cloudpunk would never know.
But maybe it would be good for us to give it to Cloudpunk? And if we broke the rules, we could get in trouble. Or get Mr. Control in trouble.
Quiet for now, Camus. I have to think.
So, we can either take it to his family, or drop it off in the chute for Cloudpunk. I don't know. We're gonna do the right thing. This is probably long term not the right thing, but they had us deliver a bomb. The least we can do is give this guy's family some stuff.
If you or anyone you know has augments and
They knowingly forced us to deliver a bomb. That's what's worse. Like, if it was like one of those, hey, we have this package, and then you find out it's a bomb later, like, okay, you know, plausible deniability. If they were like, he was literally like, I don't want her to do this, blah, blah, blah. She shouldn't have to do this. That's...
I can't do it, Camus. I can't give away Gil's final possessions to settle his debts.
Will we get in trouble?
I don't care.
I'm a huge fan of the business of Cloudpunk. The like delivery service seems like harmless on the surface, but they don't. Ow, ow.
Hey, Randy, are you there?
Yeah? You don't sound good, Control.
What? I'm fine. If I could just sleep. I used to be able to sleep, you know.
Are you sure you're okay?
What is wrong with him?
I think he said some drinks.
He sounds strange. Like he is confused.
Broadcasting nav point. Collect the package, 14FC. Get on with it.
Who from? Where am I going?
Always questions from you. Just do your goddamn job. Control out.
Interesting. Maybe we're gonna end up getting more information out of him now that he's having a few. Cloudfound, help me. Viewers back on track. Like, what does that even mean? Ow. Alright, where are we at? Alright, so we've got this person here. Are we not? District are we in? Ah, okay, I see. We're still in a different district, so we need to just go south. Where's the parking? They're at the parking, okay. Alright, on our way. Jazz will get you killed. Remember that. Ow. Where's the parking? It's further on. I did realize that they have these little openings in the highway so you can know when to get off. There we go. Guessing we take this down. No, that's up. Oh, that's where we need to go. Okay. Yay, we did it right the first time. Alright, who is this? What does it say? Miss Octavius Butler. Oh, there should be Octavius's Butler.
I'm the delivery driver. I'm here to pick up something.
Yeah.
Yes, you're here to take our original corbeille.
Huh?
What?
It's a painting, dear.
Ah.
You'll be taking me and Mr. Butler, too.
I don't think I'm supposed to take passengers.
What is all this nonsense? Mr. Octavius Butler, this was all supposed to be arranged. Didn't you tell the company that we simply can't let this painting out of our sight?
I did, my love, I did. There must be some confusion. I'm sure our young driver friend will consent to take us. It won't be a problem, and we'd hate to raise a complaint. Is that not right, young miss?
I guess so.
Let's be going then. I want to see our new apartment as soon as possible. Apparently, Trisha and the Joneses have moved in next door already. And I don't want her spreading gossip about our new home and how it still smells like smoked fish.
Joneses. Parking prohibited. Deliver your passengers first.
This is cozy. I've never been in a vehicle like this. Very retro.
I agree. Very nice indeed. Do you understand us, young lady, or should we speak slower?
I understand fine.
Dear, you must be very curious, are you not? How a woman like me and an android like Mr. Octavius Butler met.
Sure.
Well, I can tell from your accent that you're not from the city, but we're quite enlightened.
Everyone points that out.
Isn't that right, Mr. Octavius Butler?
That's right, my love.
Some might say that Mr. Octavius Butler is human passing, but I don't care about that. I love him for who he is inside, not...
He's a robot on the inside. So people are saying he's a robot. Technically an android. That's the weird thing. It's like
his outer skin is made of.
Androids are the
it's a polymer
robots that are like humans, and cyborgs are humans that have augments, right?
Oh yes, we met at a charity fundraiser. We both work for Life Corp. I'm in HR, and Mr. Octavius Butler is in acquisitions.
We're gonna go deliver the.
We had
we can't because we have to deliver the people
next
first.
Door. We started meeting for coffee, and one thing led to another.
Wow.
And now, just a week until our 5th anniversary, we're on our way to our new home. Aren't you happy for us?
Yeah, definitely.
We're suddenly happier than the family that's moving out.
Oh, don't start all that again. This area is up and coming now. The people living there couldn't afford it, and they wouldn't fit in either. With hypergentrification, they're forced out instantly instead of being pushed out over months and years. It's a short shot.
Don't like that idea. Hypergentrification?
But it's for the best for everyone. People who argue against free markets don't really believe in freedom.
Alright, I gotta go this way.
What freedom does this bring to the people who can't plan for a future?
That's just life in Navalis. If you don't like it, go live somewhere else.
1, 2, 3,
Not
4.
everyone is suited for life in the city.
Some people need to live here.
Well, maybe in the nice places, but who needs to live in the filth of the marrow?
3.
No one stays there without good reason. And the reason is they all dream of getting rich with some scheme or other to make their way up to the spire. That's the Navalis dream. Our society has 1 million slots and each must be filled. Every time someone moves up a peg, someone fills in the gap behind them.
And every time someone at the bottom slips, where do they go? I read in the holocrons yesterday that the most common food in the marrow is now roach meat kebabs, noodles with rat.
Those kinds of people love street food. No offense, dear.
None taken. I love a maggot pizza. We're almost at our destination.
Splendid.
Okay. I just wanted them to finish the conversation because I feel like if I land, they would just be just cut off. Okay. I can't move. There we go.
You see, Mr. Octavius Butler? Look at this fabulous place. Different and together, but separate. That's how we exist together in this city without all the systems breaking down.
That's what they used to say about androids, you know.
Oh, don't hearken back to your revolutionary days again. You have rights now, just like humans. Androids are just a part of society, low and high. We're all the same, you know.
As long as we all have the same bank balance.
Well, you're welcome to give away all your money to the orphans and the rat children. You can come and stay in my penthouse as long as you take off your shoes and have a shower before you touch me.
Very generous of you, my love.
Have either of you ever actually been to the Marrow?
Oh, heavens no, dear. I have family in the Spire, and Mr. Octavius Butler is from a very distinguished line of androids. He's descended from the very first Cora models.
Wait, what does that mean? Why do you mention Cora?
It's just a saying, isn't it, Mr. Octavius Butler?
In a way.
It means he's refined, dear, just like me. We have no prejudice here. We're very
You literally just defined prejudice.
in the city, you know.
Yeah, you said that before.
Do you think the family
These
will
people are
still
the
be there
worst.
when we arrive?
I shouldn't think so. 2 hours of rent at peak rate and they'd be bankrupt. I'm sure they're long gone, either moved on or forced out by Corpsec for violating their lease.
I bet they'll be somewhere nice. Not everyone ends up in the Marrow, you know.
Maybe one day they'll seize the means of production down there.
Oh, you are witty. The production of mold burgers and rat salad. No offense, dear.
Yeah, none taken.
Thank you for getting us to our destination, driver. It's been fun to drive in a vehicle that's much more rustic than our limo. Our painting made it here safely, too. And what a lovely neighborhood.
Quite so.
Clubber over the head. Okie dokie. So we haven't explored here.
Non-cosmetic procedures. Change your face.
So let's... Diamond Hills, really. So let's do an exploration of this area. So we got here. Trying to figure out Midtown is where. Oh, there's a Malport over here. So maybe we'll go here, there, come back, do all of this stuff, and then leave through Midtown. Because Midtown is where we gotta deliver our punch cards to. Alright. Now, what's the most efficient way to grab all this loot? Alright, so this probably takes us here. So yeah, we'll go this way, grab this stuff, come here, grab this stuff, probably take that here or go up or whatever. We'll figure it out. Is that the right direction? It is in fact the right direction. Return to your hobo. Okay. So we're not gonna get the next mission until we get into our car. There's that flickering again. Okay, it says it's up there. It is. What is that? Oh, it's another video game.
Come visit us at.
So there's that arm again.
Thanks.
As the MP.
Okay, so there's our teleporter thingy. Transporter. So I think we're gonna have to pick up the package here. There's another punch card. I really hope that there's not a glitch where if you have more than 20 punch cards you turn it in, she'll take all of them. Like that one guy who's like, get me a juice, and then you get him a juice and he takes both of your juices. But I guess we'll find out when we get the punch card. Alright, where are we at? Alright, here, and then those. Steel. We haven't really. Some of the stuff we haven't found a use for yet. I know one of the uses is selling stuff, so. Okay, well we're gonna have to wait on the elevator. Shop owner.
Canada's Privacy Solutions offers the best in camera-defying.
There's a punch card. Oh, for a second there, like I saw the noodles and the little circles, so like on the minimap down there. I saw like the circle with the noodles. I thought it was a guy with like an afro. I was like, what? I haven't seen that icon before. Nope. It's noodles. Definitely noodles.
Here's what I.
Ooh. Hoodie jacket. Definitely want that.
Thanks.
I look forward to seeing.
Wait, what? Oh, there we go. It wouldn't let me scroll down for a second.
I like this one.
Yeah. Alright, let's sell our old coat and the coat we were just wearing. See, this is why I don't like the stuff being in the inventory, because you could accidentally sell it and you cannot get it back from this guy. You'd have to go back to a station to get it back. So having the upgrades in your inventory is a bit... It's a bit of a problem for me.
Thanks.
I look forward to...
Alright.
Unauthorized street races have been reported in this sector.
I was looking at the minimap, not in the game. That's why I got stuck on garbage. Alright, we'll take this elevator down. But there's someone to talk to. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, there's someone to talk to down here, and then there's loot. Janet Mortame. We found a memory card for Mortame. Let's go grab this stuff and we'll talk to her. Remember, we found this memory card, human memories of Mr. Mortame, or Janet. See, she's right there. So we found her. Light this. Go grab this coolant. That'll be useful, I'm sure. Janet, we have your memory card. Well, your husband memory card? Brother?
Excuse me. I see your name tag there. Mortame.
Do you know what happened to Bob?
Bob Mortame? I found a memory card with that name.
Oh, thank God. They still haven't found his...
Hava?
Ooh, body.
Body.
Yeah.
He was in a big crash.
Yeah.
The traffic signals all changed to purple at the main junction in Devereaux.
Purple.
Over 100 vehicles. The city has gone insane.
I'm so sorry. So this is probably yours. Please take it.
Thank you.
Here, this is for you.
I guess it fell all the way down here after the accident.
Yes. The crash was 3 sectors above. But I don't understand. Why did he have these memories backed up?
I don't know.
This says summer 76.
Sometimes the memory clinics give you a backup when you have memories deleted.
But summer 76 was our wedding. Is that why he wanted to talk to me that night?
Janet, I am not from the city, so I get a lot of things wrong. Actually, I think most people go to the memory clinic to make sure they don't forget the important memories. They get a backup so that they can hold on to them forever.
Is that true?
Yes, definitely. I am sure.
Ouch.
Well, at least I have this now. Please, take some limbs as a reward. You could have kept this memory card and never told me.
Oh, there's no need. It's not worth anything, really.
It's not for the memory card, dear. It's for the kindness. Please take it.
Yeah, because she knows you're lying to her.
Thank you, Mrs. Mortame.
Summer 76. This way. I wonder if that's how some people feel about Fallout 76. Take the memory. Take the memory. Throw it away. Throw it away. Apparently it's got really good lately. Like, there's been enough updates and stuff like that that people are really enjoying
This is
the
why
game.
I'm not a taxi driver.
I didn't like them.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I don't think they would like automata or dogs.
Or anyone poorer than them, less educated, less well-connected, less stuck up. Different in any way.
But one of them was an android.
I know, Camus.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Did you really eat maggot pizza?
No, Camus. I was playing along.
Oh, a joke. I laugh at them.
Me too. It's all we can do.
A joke. I laugh at them. That is now going to be my catchphrase.
It makes me nervous.
We can listen to the ad streams if you like.
Are they interesting?
No.
Sure, if you want to learn all about everything we can never afford.
What about music?
No thanks. We can check the weather feed if you like.
If you want it, I can put it on.
Fine, but we're not tuning into any of the Corp music feeds. They're all ads and Corp-approved pop stars. They sound so empty, hollow.
How do we find other feeds? I only know about Corp channels.
The radio, Camus.
The what?
Yeah, the what?
An electromagnetic wave of a frequency between about 300 kilohertz and 300 megahertz. You can tune that in, right?
Yes, I have found it. I'm hearing it now. How strange.
It's the easiest way to broadcast without the corpse shutting you down. They've been playing music with radio waves for thousands of years, you know.
How did you know?
Mom told me if I ever visited Novalis, I should tune into the pirate radio.
Pirate radio.
She said it was the only good thing about the city. Go ahead, play something over the speakers.
What about this?
I like it. Maybe something a bit more relaxed, though.
I know this one. I like the bit that goes ba ba ba.
Yeah, it's nice, Camus, but let's see what else there is.
Oh, what about this?
Do we know who this is?
No, it is radio.
Right, sorry. Dumb question.
It is
Do you
radio.
like this one more? I like this one.
I like it too, but keep searching.
There is one more.
Yes, this is perfect. Mom would have liked this.
We have a new job coming in.
From Control? He normally calls.
The checksum confirms it's Cloudpunk. I have a nav point.
Let's go then.
That was the postman.
So what is your star sign, please?
I don't know. Why do you
Yeah,
ask?
it's a random
I am
question.
instigating a mating ritual. Tell
Whoa.
me, did it hurt?
Did what hurt?
When you hurtled to Earth from orbit?
Do you mean when I fell from heaven?
Nice.
Affirmative. I require an answer, humanoid.
I'm not really interested. Sorry.
I will find the required combination of vocalizations to entice you for romantic relations.
I'm no expert on romance, but even I know that's not how it works.
Incorrect. Please listen carefully to the following statement. If I could rearrange the alphabet, I would require the vowel U and the vowel I to be contiguous.
Do you want some advice?
Affirmative.
If you want to talk to someone you like, try asking their name. And introduce yourself, too.
I am Douglas. Name, please.
Nice to meet you, Douglas. I am Rania. Maybe try to ask questions in a less aggressive way.
Rania, please touch my carbon fiber endoframe.
Why would I do that, Douglas?
Because it's made of boyfriend material.
Okay, that is a little funny. But I'm afraid you're not what I'm looking for, Douglas. And I'm not even looking anyway.
Very well. I shall continue to be alone.
Here's what
Thanks.
I look forward.
Huh. I can talk to him again.
Maybe you can try this dating agency, Douglas.
Please, I am not so desperate. I am currently rated highly desirable in my range.
Are there many other available androids in your range?
May I have the flyer, please? Perhaps I will try the dating agency.
Good luck, Douglas.
Thank you, Rania. I can afford you a reward. You can have my optimal dating ritual instigation line, or some credits.
The line is tempting. I think I'll take the limbs.
Postbox of Love. That's the name of the achievement. Another punch card. Where does this thing go? Oh, wow. That's interesting. I wasn't expecting it to take us to the other side. This is really cool. I wonder if there's more stuff like this. I like the idea of it, like, going across a large gap. Would have been over here, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would like that. But step off, step on. We'll go back. Hopefully, everyone's still doing okay. I know map clearing isn't the most exciting of content, but I find it interesting because then you find fun NPCs like that. You find loot because we have that's two things of loot that we found way ahead of time that made that a lot easier to because like I never would have thought, hey, this guy needs the dating site thing, but since we had it, we were just like, hey, here you go, have fun. You know, and like the lady with the memory card, we had the memory card already, so we're like, there you go. Now the problem is I do know some other games have had a problem with where if you get something like ahead of time, it like skips part of the content. So you have the problem of, all right, let's go out here to Malport. Be east or west? West. And by skipping, you just circled all the way around again. Okay. By skipping the content, it does weird things. Like you miss out on stuff. Whoa, whoa, so floaty. It's just straight out. Yeah, it's just out there. Let's go get some gas while we're next to this station. And then we'll go grab that stuff. But alright, cool. Alright. I feel like you get money just for finding places. I think that's cool. Like I said in the first stream, rewarding players for exploration and games is a really good way to have them engage with the content, because they're like, okay, well, what's my reason for like coming out here and looking at all this loot or whatever? Well, if you find a new place, you get money, and money buys you upgrades or stuff, you know, for your apartment, for...
That sucks. Ah, balls.
Okay, something. We'll be able to interact with that at some point. I have a feeling we cannot go through this wall. We cannot. Okay. So that's 3 places that we couldn't explore due to some sort of gate. Which is fine, because that just means we'll come back here, but... Alright, so now we're gonna go up and clear these 2. Okay, so it looks like these places have those across-way things that we just took. So maybe we'll park down here, grab these 2, and then take one of the things across, grab them, and then take the other one, maybe. Basically just cycle a circle and then end up back in the car. So yeah, we'll go to the bottom one. First, we have to get back to the road, which is this way. Last road, right? Oh, second to last road. Get inside here. There we go. There, what's this next one? Yeah, these are really cool. I like these. Little elevators going across. Diamond Hills. Merchant. Better than real. Black sunglasses. We already have those. Done.
Thanks.
Hey, come back in.
We'll grab these two things of loot and go talk to that NPC. What's this? Oh, it's another punch card. How many punch cards we got now? 29. Okay, so we're almost to our next. We're almost halfway to the next 20 stack. Sorry, it went back in the corner because the camera went all wonky. It went all wonky. Spins around. Also, it's interesting. I did find, like, if the camera changes, sometimes it'll just move itself. Oh, 2 punch cards in 1. Fun stuff. So we're halfway to the next 20. I wonder how many punch cards there are. I wonder if it's 60 or 100. I mean, I don't mind exploring, so it's not a big deal, but hopefully you guys don't mind either. Look at this lovely scenery, like that green building back there. Really cool. Looks very Oz-esque. Oh, it's Engineer again.
Engineer, are you ever going to tell me your name?
Sure. Call me Painter.
You've given up then?
You know, for a while there, I really thought I was onto something. I followed a lead down to the vents. I didn't expect to find all these people.
What was the lead?
An old master control program. I found a data cable that stretched out of the city. It led there.
What did it lead to?
Nothing. I'd hoped to find some old rogue mainframe spitting out garbage to the main infrastructure subsystems. Maybe it would be as simple as turning it off, then on again.
It wasn't that simple?
No.
Nothing ever is.
What will you do now? The city needs people who are trying to make things better.
I know. And I might go back to work. I can't see another disaster and feel that weight on my shoulders.
Aww.
Could I have stopped it? Did I cause it? It's too much.
This is rough,
I
man.
understand. See you around, Painter.
See you around, driver.
I quit. That is definitely a thing. Yeah, it's a pretty terrible feeling when, and I know, like, certain people like myself included have that problem where, you know, if something goes wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Even if, you know, you did all you could, or it's not even related to anything you did, it just turned out bad. But it's just such a hard feeling to shake sometimes when something goes wrong and you think it's something that was, like, within your control, even if it's not, because you obsess. Well, I know I do, but people will obsess over failings, which is interesting because, like, I feel like if we could do that with positive things, you know, people would be able to handle things better. Like, if we obsessed over positive things the way we obsess over negative things, at least it would add some more of a balance. But it's so weird. Like, it's like, oh, you won this war, that's great. You get like 15 minutes, you know, and you're like happy. You got the endorphins going. You're in a good mood, and then, like, it's gone. Right? You got your award. You got your whatever. But, man, you do something wrong, and it's just, like, you dwell on it. It's, like, not 15 minutes, not an hour. It's, like, 2 days later, you're still thinking about, like, oh, what I could have done, what I should have done. You know, is this my fault? You know, it's so... Like, I want to say interesting because it is interesting, but it's also kind of sad, right? Like, that we don't obsess over the good things that happen. We only obsess over the bad things. You know, and I think it's because it stems from that feeling of, well, if we obsess about the good things, you know, our accolades, the things we've accomplished, it's a prideful thing, right? It's negative to obsess over the good things that you have. Wow, the whole town's flickering. This went out too. Interesting. But yeah, it's so weird, and it's kind of heartbreaking, honestly. Both from, you know, someone who experiences it and from seeing it happen to other people, where it's just like, you know, look at all these good things that you've done. Yeah, but this one bad thing though, right? This one mistake, this one problem, that's just destroys you. It sucks. It really does. All right, this elevator thing's coming back first. So I don't know. I wish there was a way to break that mindset. To tell yourself it's okay to, you know, think positively about, or think about the positive things for longer than 15 minutes. Like that, like the engineer is a perfect example of that, right? It's like he's probably fixed hundreds of problems, and he's even like, he dived into the vents, whatever that is. We don't know what that is yet. You know, he dived into the vents looking for this problem, hoping to help the city. But because he couldn't, now he's dwelling on the fact that he couldn't help, right? A lot more than he would if he did fix it, because he would have been like, yeah, I fixed it. That's going to help the city, and then it'd be done, right? He'd just forget onto it and move to the next problem. It's crazy. So crazy. All right, wow, there is a lot going on over here. Hobbs Thoroughfare. All right, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna hit the thoroughfare. Were we not able to get this, or did we just miss this? I think we just missed this. All right, so we're gonna go Hobbs Thoroughfare, park here, grab this thing, and then head down to Midtown. But yeah, like I said, I just wish we could break that mindset and really like celebrate our successes more instead of our failures. Well, we don't really celebrate our failures, but you get it. We dwell on our failures. Parking's right there. And it's, like I said, it's just a hard mindset, because I believe it's just so hardwired into, like, the way we talk, the way we interact with people. Oh, I missed it. Oops, my bad. You know, because it's also, like, it's another thing, too, is when you're talking to people, you don't want to be like, well, I accomplished these things, because then you feel like you're gloating in some regards. It's like, well, I did these things. What did you do today? You know, it's just like, you don't want to sound like that person, right? But it is something you accomplished, right? If you did something good that day, that's great. Especially in the way that things are now, we got to break that habit of beating ourselves up for things that are outside of our control. You know, just because something bad happens doesn't mean it was a failure on our part. It could just, sometimes bad things just happen, right? Like, and if we could change it and we weren't able to, you know, that's unfortunate, but it's not like life-breaking, right? Don't beat yourself up for months on end because of a mistake you made, right? And like I said, I am super guilty of this too. I'm not saying like I have the perfect solution and here it is. I'm like, no, of course not. If it was that easy, everyone would do it. But so this is as much as a talk to you guys as it is a talk to me. You know, just trying to pull out that negative mentality. Just like pull it out of the brain, throw it away. We don't need it. We don't need it. We don't need to be so hard on ourselves. Like the problem I have, because I'm also I do digital art, specifically 3D art for stuff like games and the like. I always look at a piece, like I get done with a piece and I'm like, it could be better. I don't celebrate that, hey, I got this thing accomplished. It looks good, right? For where I'm at. Am I the most excellent 15-year veteran that ever lived in the 3D art industry? No, of course not, because I'm not even a 15-year veteran, right? Like, but instead, just, okay, that's below us or something. Where are we at? Where's this package? It's like right here. I have a feeling it's down here or something. But it usually puts a down arrow. That's weird. Oh, no, I'm standing on it. Patience. Lots of cops in this district. But yeah, arts. I believe artists are probably one of the groups of people that are the hardest on themselves. It's because they constantly are making something, so they have this constant need to critique that thing, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with critiquing something. It's just the problem of you have to critique the thing, not yourself, right? If something you create, whether it's a painting or a piece of pottery or whatever, doesn't turn out exactly a sculpture, doesn't turn out exactly how you want, doesn't mean you're a failure. It's just you have things to learn. That's fine, because if you really want to grow as a person, you never stop having things to learn, right? You learn about your successes and your flaws and who you are, why you think the way you do, and then you start going, okay, what can I do to make that better? Why do I think like this? Why do I react like this? Why do I say these things? And once you start like self-evaluating yourself on that level, which is a bit of a redundant thing, once you self-evaluate or start self-evaluating, you start getting to this point where you're like, oh, this is kind of a bad habit, beating myself up because this piece of art didn't turn out how I wanted. I need to break that. I need to look at it as this is a piece. Let me critique it. Let me see its flaws. So next time, I can make it better. So next time, I don't go, oh, yeah, I wasn't paying attention, or I didn't have reference, or I'm using art as an example because it's a more personal example for me. But instead of being like, well, I'm garbage, I should just give it up now. Instead, just be like, okay, what do I not like and why? Let's see if we can catch this merchant. Ooh, camera, can you work with me, camera? Thank you. Because sometimes you try something, it just doesn't work out, and that's fine. Because
here,
I don't remember who it was. Maybe
Thanks.
Edison.
I look forward to.
It might have been Edison who was like, I didn't fail 99 times. I found 99 ways not to do it, or I found so many ways, 50 ways of how not to do it. I think it's how the phrase goes, something like that. And that's the best way of looking at it. It's like, it's not a failure. It's learning through mistakes, right? Because even like in another art example, it's like even Bob Ross says, happy little accidents. And it's so weird to have that mindset of like, how can an accident be happy, right? How can you have a happy little accident? And it's just like, because you learn from it, right? You like in his example, he's like putting these big old trees like right in the middle of the canvas, or well, not in the middle, but like on the side of the canvas, and just blocking off a bunch of stuff that he just painted. And it's like, well, if that doesn't turn out right, it's a happy little accident, right? You learn from it. You realize, okay, that tree was too big, or it takes up too much of the canvas or whatever. So next time I won't do it as big, right? So it's just there's influential people, people that created things and communities and stuff that have figured it out, right? It's not a failure. It's not a failure. It's a limited success, right? It's you learned what not to do. And I feel like that's a part of learning basically everything. It doesn't matter whether you're learning a new language. It doesn't matter whether you're learning a new skill. Because I know a lot of people, like, during this time where everybody's kind of like stuck at home and stuff, they're trying new things, right? People are picking up painting, they're picking up pottery, they're picking up sewing, they're picking up all sorts of like new hobbies and stuff. But some people do it for a day and give it up because like they try to make a thing and it just doesn't turn out right. And it's like, why give it up? Give it another go, right? It'll be better next time because you know what not to do. You know what didn't work last time, right? Or like it's like, oh, this was too ambitious of a project. It's like, for example, we'll use like purlers, right? You get a little board and you put little beads on there, and you take a iron and you heat it, the plastic, so they stick together, right? And this person, let's say this person tried to make this like giant, like dragon area thing in Perler, and it turns out it looks like a weird lizard, right? And they're not happy with it. And they're like, well, I can't do this. It's not right. It's like, no, what you learned is maybe start a little less ambitious, right? Pull it back some. Go with just one square of the Perler. Do something that's got like 3 colors instead of 15. All right, this says up. Maybe we have to go through this door here. Oh, we can't go through that door. Can we talk to this person to go through the door? No. How do we get up there? Oh, maybe this way. But yeah, so sometimes it's not that the project itself was a bad idea. It's just sometimes it's too ambitious, especially given where you start. I don't know how many times I've done that with projects where I'll be like, oh, I want to create this immaculate, giant, amazing thing, and then you look at it when you're done and you're like, what happened? Just it looks all wrong. And it's not that it is wrong. It's just you kind of worked outside of your. Okay, so it's definitely going to be that door. So we don't have a way to get in there now. You just worked outside of your knowledge base, right? And that's fine. You can have an ambitious project. There's nothing wrong with that. Just make sure you're learning from it. What worked in the project, what didn't work in the project, and then move on to the next. Don't give up on a hobby or an interest just because of one limited success, one minor success. And that's how we got to start looking at these things, right? They're not failures. They're minor successes. Because as long as you're learning, you're not failing, in my opinion. Now that might be a little controversial. People might disagree with that, but I feel like if you're learning from something, then you're succeeding, right? You've got something you didn't have before. That knowledge. Now, did it unfortunately come with something that you didn't like? Yeah, of course. Like that, you obviously don't like it. That's why you're thinking about like giving it up or whatever. But that's, don't do that. Now, of course, if you work on a project and you're like, okay, I want to do this thing. Like, I want to learn the ukulele, right? Let's just say that's your example. You see it all the time online. People love playing the goofiness of the ukulele. Some people are really good at it. Some people takes a bit more time to get there. But instead of spending that time to get there, they play it once, go, this is way too hard, and I'm not going to do it. But in the case of, like, sometimes you try out a hobby, like playing the ukulele or something, and you realize you don't enjoy it. Like, you tried it out, it didn't work out, and you don't like it, so you move on. And that's fine too. You're not stuck to something just because you tried it. You can explore your options. Alright, let's go. We're gonna see why we missed this package here. We're gonna package this item here. And then we'll move to Midtown. But yeah, parking is right over there. We'll just go ahead and drive straight to the parking. But yeah, just try things out. And the thing is the one thing I feel like a lot of people get discouraged about, and myself included. Believe me, I've been fighting this demon for years. Is art stuff. Okay, so we haven't been here, according to the thing that just popped up. Is that the only thing there? I guess. Oh, I see what it probably was. We probably cleared all of this stuff, but we never came over here to grab that. That's probably what happened. But a lot of people are like, well, playing an instrument or art, as a personal example, is you just have to have a talent for it, right? You just have to you have to just know. It has to be built into the fiber of your being, you know, that natural talent. And I completely disagree with that. Now, do I think some people are better at figuring it out quicker? Of course. Some people, it just clicks, right? They're able to look at a thing and go, this is how I'm going to do it, and it just works out for them. Now, if you want to define that as talent, sure, whatever, okay. But I feel like that's just them learning a little bit quicker. That doesn't mean you can't do it, right? Just because someone can do it quicker doesn't mean you can't do it. It just means it'll take you a little longer, right? It's a problem that I see with a lot of people. Now, of course, in the case of like schooling and stuff, people are like, oh, you know, this person's just naturally gifted with English or history or whatever. Like, those can be more disheartening because you're being directly compared, right? You have like, oh, well, this person's getting A's and I'm getting C's. Obviously, I'm worse than that person. It's like, no, you haven't found your way of learning that or your stride to learning that, you know? Because like self-education. Okay, we're gonna go drop off these cards. We need to see how many we have just in case it does. Okay, so we have 36. So we're missing 4 from the next 20, which is crazy. I hope she doesn't take all 36 of them though. That would be a weird bug. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, like the direct comparison. And I think that's part of the problem of like, because we've all done it, right? We've been in school, we take a test, and we go, oh man, I made an 85, or I made a 64, or whatever. And you look over at one of your peers, one of the other students, and they made higher grade, right? They made that 90 or that, you know, 85 when you made a 64 or whatever, and you're just like, well, I'm worse than them. It's like, why, right? Why do we think that? Well, because that number's there, right? We see that that number.
Do you remember what happened?
Somewhat.
Well,
okay, let's listen
why
to this.
did
I'll get back to that in a
Zizich
second.
take your memories?
I asked her to.
Evelyn, you're really making me work here. Can you just assume that I always want a bit more than what you're telling me?
I had a traumatic experience. I could not continue to exist with that memory.
So now you remember you forgot something, but you don't know what.
Yes, that is correct.
So I guess we should stop, right? I mean, if this memory made you feel like you couldn't go on...
I must recover the truth.
But whatever this thing is you forgot, it made you want to...
I cannot live like this. I need to be whole again.
I guess we keep searching. Maybe we don't need to recover all the memories.
Maybe.
Alright, so 16 in the way. I checked well, that's what the thumbs up was while they were talking. So she did, in fact, only take 20 out of there. We're talking about, oh yeah, the direct comparison. Like, when you have that number, and I think this happens on Twitch too, and obviously newer streamers have this, like well, I say newer. I've been doing this for on and off for many years. Never consistently, which I think is part of my problem. But all right, so we're going to a new place. We haven't been to Albana Majoris, or yeah, Albana. Cool. Like new places. But like with grades and stuff, there's that direct comparison. You can look at a number and say their number is higher than mine, right? And streaming has that same problem, right? There's streamers that go, oh, I've got 100 viewers, but that person has 200, or I've got 1,000 viewers, but that person has 2,000, right? I want to be that person, you know, and. You get so wrapped up in this number, and don't get me wrong. That in the cases of like the numbers is sometimes the number is directly correlated to the amount of money you're making, and some people like they want higher numbers because they want to make more money. Which, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with wanting to make more money so you can, you know, do the things you want or you know help people or whatever. But you have to like look at it as like, okay, what are they doing, right? Or are they even, like, should I even be comparing myself to this person? Because it's like, if I was to go and look at, like, let's say, a professional CSGO player or a professional League of Legends player, and I'm like, well, I want to be that, excuse me, I want to be that person, right? I want those 5,000 viewers and 1.5 million subs or whatever, right? Subs on YouTube, not subs on Twitch. I don't think anybody has 1.5 million subs. That'd be insane. But why? You know, it's like, okay, what am I doing compared to them? Well, one, we're playing totally different things. I play variety. They play their one game. That works out for them. That's fine. They're also playing a more popular game. Like right now, I'm playing Cloudpunk. It's a small indie title. You know, they wouldn't even put it on their wish list, right? Well, some of them. Some of them would. Some of them are interested in all sorts of gaming, but some of them are like, nah, not for me. Cool. That's fine. But comparing myself to them does absolutely nothing. Because the viewership I would get would be coming for a completely different experience, right? You go to competitive games looking for that, like, those intense battles and back and forth and the tug of wars, and that's technically the same term. Anyways, those tug of wars. Redundancy. It's great. Ooh, this is a rather large sector. Well, I think it's just because the things take up so much space. Alright, so we'll do a circle. We'll start here, clear here, clear here, clear here, here, and then we'll end there, because that's where our quest is. But it's just one of those, like, it's so much easier to compare yourself. Jesus, there's a lot of vehicles here. It's so much easier to compare yourself to your peers when there's a number involved. This is weird. Ah, ow. Oops, my bad. When there's a number involved, right? Because there's a direct correlation. You can look at something and go, that number is bigger than this number. It's objectively bigger, right? But what you don't think about, is it better, right? Are you creating or doing something that you want to do, right? And if you're just blindly comparing yourself, it's never going to do you any good. But if you can learn something from it, go, okay, what's working for them? Well, they play competitive games. That's what's working for them.
Thanks.
Hey, come back in.
But I don't want to play competitive games, right? Like, you know, I don't like competitive games, right? So why would I want to do that? Well, I don't. Now, in the aspect of, like, okay, well, let's say I'm not comparing myself to a competitive streamer. I'm comparing myself to other variety streamers. I wish the map would, like, lock on to your position. I wish I didn't have to, like, move the map every time. That would be a nice feature, but nitpicky. Compare myself to another variety streamer. It's like, okay, what do they have that I don't have? Like, why are they better than me? And a lot of times, they're not. Right? They're not better than you. They just have a bigger number than you. And they might be doing the same thing that you're doing. You know, there's plenty of streamers. I'll look at a streamer, 3 viewers, 5 viewers, whatever, and they got a good quality microphone, they've got good lighting, whatever, perfect. They have the setup with the notifications and everything. Like, you know, they got everything. They're in a really good place. They have 5 viewers. And then I go, you'll watch a 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 10,000 viewer stream, and you're like, okay, well, what are they doing differently? Nothing. They have the same, you know, sometimes the same, maybe a little bit better setup. They have, you know, they have a good microphone, a good light, good notifications and stuff like that. So, you know, why are they doing better? Well, they've been able to find a community that grew, right? And the thing is a lot of people forget, you don't start out with 1 million viewers, right? You start out with 2, or 1, or even 0, and you just find something, and it grows. There was one streamer that I moderated for a few years, and they started with like 7, right? Now they're partnered, and they get I don't know what their latest number is, but I think it's in the hundreds, right? And it's just like they found a community and they started growing that community, and that's fine. But they can't compare themselves to someone who has like 10,000 because they're doing the same things. And I think another thing is too, and like with the hobbies, connecting this back to the what is this? This is new. Encrypted keycard. Keycard belonging to Mr. Spacula.
Hey Camus, I found this encrypted keycard. Do you think we could read it?
Expensive and shiny, but it's covered in pen markings.
I am not really a decryption automata. I am more of a running in a park automata.
So there's no way?
Scanning. There are markings on the keycard. 1, 7, 9, 8, 5.
You're right. Whoever owned this actually wrote their PIN number on here. We should hand it back.
Mr. Spacula, CEO of Spacula Enterprises. He must have lost his holocash card.
CEO?
So we will hand it back? I have a nav point for the Spacula HQ.
I would like to take a look at this account first.
Are we going to...
I'm still deciding.
Interesting decision. Easy money. But like tying this back to the hobby thing, do things because you enjoy doing them, and if you don't enjoy them, don't do them, right? Now, of course, in some regards you can't help it, like work. Sometimes you just don't enjoy your work, and that's fine. Not everybody's going to enjoy their work. A lot of people don't enjoy their work, but they have to do it, unfortunately. But like with hobbies or things like Twitch, do it because you want to. Do it because it's fun. Don't do it because you feel like you gotta, right? No, you don't gotta.
Looks like I'll have to go on foot. It's pretty far from a parking bay.
I will stay here and play the waiting game.
Oh.
What's the waiting game?
I guess how long it takes for me to get bored. Then,
Going
when I get bored, I start the game again.
Right. I'll try to be quick.
Yeah, we were gonna do that place last. Got distracted by all the talking. Yeah. I know this has been a bit of a tangent, but yeah, it's just, I guess the takeaways from all this rambling is 1, don't be so hard on yourself. 2, do what you want. Do what you like to do. You know, and if you're not as good as someone else, who cares? You're doing what you want. You're having fun, right? Have fun and enjoy the little things, because right now that's crazy. Everything's all over the place. People are still trying to figure things out. Who cares if your piece of art or your pillow or your knitted cap doesn't turn out quite how you want? Just try again. Do it again. Try it again. Have fun. Do things that you enjoy. Because at the end of the day, that is what will keep you from having a much harder time than you would otherwise. Because you're not distracting yourself with something that makes you happy. I know me personally, my mind wanders to like really dark and depressing places, right? It goes like, oh, should have done this better. You should be, doing this. You should be working your butt off, and why is this wrong? Why are you not doing blank? Blah blah blah, right? And You don't need that. You don't need that mindset. It's not healthy. Because sometimes, you know, playing a game or you know, making art or watching a movie or whatever, right? Like whatever you want to do, that can be healthy for you. That can make you. Where are we at? Okay. We need to take this thing up. Looks like. We'll clear all this stuff down here first. And I think that's the problem a lot of people, once again myself included, have is we forget that it's okay to just take an hour or 2 hours and watch a movie, play a game, do something to, you know, get your mind off whatever's bothering you. Sabra.
You sell instruments?
I sell everything. Sheet music, drumsticks, reeds, strings, performance-enhancing stims, guitar picks.
You seen one of these before?
That's an ocarina right there. Dirty, but not in bad condition. Where did you find it?
Does it matter? I'd like to sell it.
Sure. I could take this off your hands. You knew what it was already, didn't you?
Yeah.
You're from the East, right? You folks play some pretty intricate folk music with all the crazy time signatures.
I don't anymore.
That's a shame. I'd love to hear some of that mountain music. You don't get much of that here in Navalis.
I didn't think anyone in the city would be interested in that.
Well, it's not mainstream, sure, but there's a lot of people looking for something different. The Nets don't support music except for what the corps approve, so we don't hear much variety, you know? So why don't you play anymore?
I don't really want to talk about it.
Well, that's fine, but if you ever get back to playing again, you know where to come to get a good music stand. Tell a friend about old Sabra's music ephemera, and if you find anything else like this, bring it here for a good price.
In a minute. There a minute. Wow.
Hey, you wanted to hear more music?
Not exactly authentic. This is from the big CD revival fad that kicked off about 200 years ago. There's no original CDs left now.
But the music is what you were looking for, right?
Yeah, this is a good find.
So, you like this job?
Selling junk? No, but on good days, I get to talk to some pretty interesting people about music.
Fair enough.
And don't get me wrong, it's not all junk. This CD, for example, is a real find, and I have good reeds if you need one.
Flutes don't need reeds.
A flautist? I should have guessed. You got to play for me sometime. There's a jazz club. Not exactly your style, I know, but...
No thanks.
All right, I get it. Maybe when you're ready. Anyway, let me give you a good price for this CD. I'm closing the stall early tonight. Gonna grab a coffee from that expensive place downtown and listen to this CD. That is, if I can find something that will play the damn thing.
Alright, so those were the two items that guy was looking for. Neat. So. This is the last punch card we need for this stack. I'm really interested to see how much money this, I think we tried that number. I think I like randomly like pushed buttons and got that number. Cause it gave me a little ding like there was something there, but then it just didn't pop up with anything. I guess you have to have this flag to trigger it. Okay. Alright, so we got a broken elevator there. Where are we at? So let's see if we can go across these bridges. We'll come back. What do we need to fix this, by the way? Use battery. Awesome. Good thing we kept those. We'll grab that in a second. Let's go across these bridges and grab the things, because it's a circle anyways. And it goes. But yeah. be real interested to hear what
Thanks, Mr. Wick.
what hobbies you guys have started over the time that we've had the past few months. I don't think I've really picked up any hobbies. I just have a lot of stuff that I wanted to do, you know, that I had done before or whatever, that I've started doing again, like streaming, for example. I like streaming. It gives me a way to enjoy a game and interact with people while keeping my distance. That's came out a little, I guess, a little more antisocial than I was intending it. But yeah, like, I'm streaming again, which is one of the things I picked up. I've recently made a schedule of like things I want to spend time doing. Yesterday, I spent like 3.5 hours doing D&D stuff. You know, I was DMing for a group that I play with, and I hadn't done it in a little while because I hadn't prepped for it. I was distracted with other things. I had school and whatnot, and I was like, okay, well, now I'm gonna set aside some time, do my DM work. All right, so we have at least one more 20 stack that we have to do. So we just picked up another one. Well, I can't say it's 20 stack. We have another stack of punch cards we'll have to turn in, but yeah. So I'm doing that. Like today after the stream, I'm gonna make myself some lunch, and then I'm gonna spend some time learning some digital art. I got, you know, the drawing sense, like, because there's actually a lot of variation in the digital art umbrella, right? You have, you know, like pixel art. You've got your drawing and illustration. You have 3D. You have it's crazy. There's so much stuff that falls under that digital art. So I kind of define it a bit better for myself. But yeah, that's after the stream today. That's what I'm doing. I'm gonna spend some time learning that stuff. I've got a bunch of tutorials already that I'm gonna work through. I'm gonna spend a few hours doing that today. And that's one thing I've found out recently too, is I need to have some time blocked away for. Oh, thank you, Midwest Punctress, for the follow. Let's update our. Lower count. Yes, I'm doing this manually. Yes, I know there's things to do that non-manually. But I don't have any of that set up currently. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, cutting out time. Yeah, I've realized that if I block out some time to do something, I'm more likely to do it, because I can look at it and go, oh, it's, you know, Wednesday, it's 2 o'clock, let's work on some art, right? But before, I would go, hey, it's Wednesday, 2 o'clock, here's all the things I could be doing, right? I could. Neon Outlook Point? Why did we get an achievement for this one place? That's interesting. Okay. Oh, it's Nihon. I don't know why I said neon. I've seen some interesting methods where people use digital art they create as an outline for a painting and then go physically paint a beautiful piece. Digital art is so versatile. Yeah, it really is. It's crazy, and people create some amazing stuff. Both in you can pick up part of your drawing and fix the proportions just with a click of a button. Yeah, I think that's the reason I gravitated toward digital art and away from traditional art. One, I have a problem, and this is something I'm working on with digital art too, where I press too hard, right? Like I put too much pressure on the pencil or whatever, and with certain pencils, you just end up snapping off the letter or whatever. But with digital art, I can see on the screen that, like, if I push too hard, it makes the stroke or the brush too big. So I have to like dial back, pull my hand back. So it's helping me kind of break some of my old like writing habit problems. But with digital art, it's like, oh, that head is like 2 sizes too big. Select the head, shrink it down, place it, fix some lines. There you go. It's insane. Whereas with traditional art, unfortunately, you have the problem where it's like, well, if the head's too big, you know, either erase it or work around it. But yeah, it's and that's the thing, is like one of the things. I'm a smudger. I run my hand through paint and ink. Yeah. Oh yeah, I had that problem too when I was first, because I went through. I have a bachelor's of fine arts in 3D design, and when I went through my drawing class, I'd be like, yeah, I got this great thing, and then like I wouldn't realize the entire time I was just smearing the stuff. So I'd look and I'd have like a giant like pencil graphite stain on my hand. Of course, it washes off. It's not like it like ruins your hand or anything, but it does tend to make the piece look a little weird. So yeah, I totally understand what you're talking about. Just a little unintentional blending. Yep. Happy little accidents. Alright, we're gonna go down here. We'll circle that way. But that actually kind of connects back with what I was talking about earlier with, you know, not trying to focus on the mistakes or the failures of a piece. You just go, okay, well, this piece is all smudged up. Why did that happen? Because I'm pressing too hard with my hand, or I'm not lifting, or whatever, and you know that for the next one. So you just try it again. Now, of course, it's a hard habit to break, because I think the thing is with the difference between like artist brain and writer brain. It's like writer brain, you're in the paper, right? You're like on it. You're a part of the paper, with at least the way I write. But with art, there's more of a delicacy to it, right? I don't know if that's really the right word. A delicate touch is what I'm going for. You know, you have to be a little more cognizant of how much pressure you're applying, and like where your hand is, what instrument you're using. Because like when you write, all you need is a pencil, right? You could just write all day. Maybe you need a sharpener if your pencil goes out, or more lead if you're using a mechanical. But with art, there's so much more to that. It's how you're drawing. Like, are you using your wrist? You know, are you using your arm? What are you doing? Are you pulling towards yourself, pushing away from yourself? Like, you have to think about all that stuff. It's the little stuff that you don't think about that starts elevating that, right? You start going, okay, well, I snap my lead every other time I draw something. Well, I should start working on making my touch a little less aggressive. You know, what's a good way to work on that? Mechanical pencils. Mechanical pencils are the best way to work on how delicate your touch is, because if they have a tiny lead and you push on it too hard, that just snaps off. You lose lead. You know, and eventually you just go, okay, well, I want to stop losing lead, obviously, because at one, it costs money. And two, it's really aggravating, because then you have to click the button in or push or whatever, and you have to keep getting the lead to come out. And I know we've all experienced that. That's why I love using that example, because I don't know how many times I'll be sitting and writing or whatever, and I push just a little bit too hard, bam, snap the mechanical pencil lead. And it's just like, ugh, click, 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 click. What's even more, what makes it even worse is like when you're surrounded by people. You know, like you're in a class or just like in a group of people, and you're like drawing something or writing something, and it's like snap, click, 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 snap, click, click, click. Because then people start looking at you, right? They start going, hey, you need to stop breaking your lead, man. Because the clicking is getting to me. And you're like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. So it makes you think about it, and you get all nervous because you're over here like you're that person with the pen clicking. You know, some people have that nervous habit where they'll click a pen constantly, which drives some people up the wall. It's never really bothered me, honestly, but I can definitely see how it's annoying, right? But it's the same way, like, if you had a metronome on, like, some people really don't like that sound. Other people love that sound. They love the sound of a metronome. But anyways, but yeah, it's... Art is a great way to figure out how delicate your touch is when it comes to interacting with paper. And then what's funny is, like, it even extends past pencils, right? You take a paintbrush and you just, you know, push too hard on a paintbrush, all of a sudden you just got globs of paint, and, you know, if in the case of, like, water-based stuff, sometimes it just soaks the whatever you're working on. Oh my god, I'm so light-touched that I half sharpen number 2s when I'm sketching, though. Because people who look at my work don't see the shading the same way I might. But it's much clearer when I'm using a regular pencil. I think it's the thickness of the lead and the comfort of which I draw versus the mechanical pencil. Yeah. Yeah, I... Honestly, like, I can draw with a mechanical pencil, but I have to be, like, focused on, like, don't break the lead. Take your hand off the paper, pull it up. Don't like drive it in the paper. You're not trying to bore a hole through the piece of paper, right? You're just trying to make a line or a circle, or, you know, you're working on something. It takes time. Don't grind it in there. And that's something that, like, I realized while I'm learning digital art, that is still a problem, because I'm getting so focused on, like, it has to be perfect. It has to have these exact curves and details and stuff. And then I'll go watch a tutorial by someone who's been doing it for like 15 years, and they're just like strokes, just quick little strokes, get the idea down. They're so much more loose, right? That's the problem I have, that I've learned recently that I have, is I'm not loose enough. I'm not sketchy enough when I'm starting out. I'm thinking it has to be clearly defined from the get-go. And now, part of that, I think, stems from my doing 3D art, because 3D art, you don't just walk into, like, and make a chair, right? You need that reference, you need the dimensions. Like, there's a lot of setup getting started with 3D art. Whereas with an idea that you want to sketch out, you can kind of just sketch it out, man. Just follow how you feel. See where it goes, and, you know, move your hands. Like, that didn't work. You know, erase. Or if you're doing digital art, Control Z. Control Z is like the best key in all of existence. That key combination is a godsend for anything. Not even just for artists, just for people in general. It's like you're working on something. Oh, I accidentally deleted half of my paper. Control Z, right? Or Control Z, depending on what part of the world you're in. But yeah, it's just like back it up, fix it. And I know, like, Photoshop has Control Shift Z or Control Shift Z. And that takes, you can keep stepping back. So it's like back. They also have, a history tab, so you can, like, go, okay, this is where everything messed up, so let me just jump back to that step, and then I'll work from there. Alright, so there's a little parking here, but there's nothing there, so we're going to go ahead and just ignore that. And we're going to come over here and park. See, this is why I like this game. I'm able to interact with the game, but I'm also able to interact with you guys. I love games that allow me to do that. Yeah, we'll just go through here. But yeah, it's like that's. I think it's kind of, unfortunately, a bad habit for me, because, like, I remember the other day I was drawing something on a piece of paper. I was drawing it for a family member. It's kind of like a little joke thing. And I messed up a line. And because I was next to a computer, my hand immediately was going for the Control Z. Like, I was trying to Control Z a physical drawing. And I was like, okay, that's not how this works. Alright, where are we going? Okay, we need to cycle back. So obviously I flipped the pencil around and used the eraser, but it's just so funny that was, like, ingrained of, like, oops, mistake, Control Z. It's great. One of the YouTubers I follow, he's one of the bigger art YouTubers, Jazza, probably. Most people that are online know who he is. I didn't know who he was till recently because I didn't follow a lot of art channels, ironically. He actually has a shirt that it's got like an eraser, but on the eraser it says Control Z, because you know that's the Control Z for the physical medium is an eraser. It's definitely an adjustment to bounce between. I battle my inner perfectionist constantly. Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. There's just that ooh, it has to be great. It has to be perfect. This line, it's slightly off this line. And then like,
Thanks.
oh well, that make this slightly off, and then you start fighting yourself because then everything's off just a little bit, right? Just that hair of a distance, and you're all of a sudden you're just like, no, this is all wrong. It's all wrong. It's like, no, it's not all wrong. Don't do it. Don't mess up your piece because of a couple lines. Just let it be. But that is such a hard mentality to break, man. I am right there with you. Because I think it's because there's that idea that you can fix it, right? And I think this is something. Yes, or you erase so often your medium gets muddled. Yeah. Uh-oh. More flickering. Yeah. That's you're just erase, fix, erase, fix, erase, fix. Yeah. And it's just. I think it's because we have the ability to fix it. If someone took that away from us, like if they're like, okay, you have to do this piece, but you can only use your eraser 5 times, right? Like to actually erase something, not to like help with shading and stuff. Like an actual like I'm erasing these lines to redraw them thing. I think we would do it a lot less. I think we would stop caring as much for the perfection. Like it would still be there. We'd be like, this is all wrong, but. Because we'd be more limited, we'd just be like, oh, well, you have to live with it, right? Just have to roll with the punches, because otherwise you just get stuck in this vicious loop. It'd be a great way to challenge ourselves. Yeah, it'd also be extremely frustrating because you'd get to that 5th erase and be like, well, now I'm just stuck with whatever I make from this point on, which I think would do one of 2 things: either it would make you like stop caring about the perfectionism, or it would make you even more cared about the perfectionism because then you're like, well, I only have one shot at this, right? So it could be a double-edged blade. I think you could really run into some issues with that, but it's definitely an interesting experiment. Where is this? Is this right here? Okay. All right, we're not missing anything so far, have we? Nope, still working our way around. Okay, we should probably go in and then back out. Grab these, and we'll cycle around. And I think another thing, which is good practice, which is actually something that has been kind of widespread. You've probably seen it a lot online. The whole like 10 minutes, 1 minute, 10 seconds challenge. Where it's like, okay, you have a piece, you give yourself 10 minutes to make that, and then you take that same exact concept, the same exact piece, and you try to do it in 1 minute, and then you try to do it in 10 seconds. And I think that's because the reason why that's so helpful is because it breaks the mentality of it has to be perfect, and more like I have to get something on this paper, right? Like if I don't draw something in 10 seconds, I have a blank piece of paper, right? So you just start scribbling things down. And I think I might try doing that. Just I'm nowhere near able to draw something like just conceptually. I'm like I said, I'm a 3D artist. I make models. I do what you see on the screen now. I make this stuff. So drawing is something I'm teaching myself and learning and stuff like that. But like I would like to do those challenges so I can start thinking like, how do I get this concept across in 10 seconds, right? Basically, it's an elevator pitch, but with a piece of art, right? It's kind of crazy to think about it like that, but that's effectively what it is. It's like you have 10 seconds. Can you get this idea across in 10 seconds? Most of the time, it's no. Obviously, it's 10 seconds is not enough time to do a whole lot of things. Like, a minute, though? Yeah. A minute's a good amount of time to get a concept down. But the problem is obviously you won't like the result. But I think that's part of what that challenge does, is helps you break that mentality of that you have to love everything you make. It's like, no. It's going to be not as good as your 10 minutes because it's only 1 minute, right? You only have 60 seconds. Let's go talk to this person. 60 seconds to complete this thing. You know, and then like I said, the last one's 10 seconds. I can barely draw a circle in 10 seconds. I don't know what you're talking about. All right, let's see what this person has. We'll continue this in a second.
Are you alone?
Mom lets me hang out here. I like to watch the traffic go by. I'm Mala.
She lets you out here by yourself?
Yeah, I like to see the different hovas. And Mom says the air is nice and clean by the roads because the vapor from the engines helps. Back home, it's smelly because of the factories.
You live near the factories? I guess this is the best place for you to play then.
Mom says it's safe as long as I don't talk to the police people. But strangers are okay.
I guess that makes sense. So you like the Havas?
Yeah, I want to race one day.
The desert races in the wastelands?
No, I like the street races.
I've met a racer tonight.
Really? Who was he?
He calls himself Never Slow Joe.
Wow, Never Slow Joe? He is good.
I have something for you then. You want this card?
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's what the trading card was. We did meet Joe.
He is not like the best, but pretty good.
Who's the best then?
Scuttle Runner, maybe the Bandit Queen. Oh, I know, Jane Turbine.
Are those their real names?
No, silly. You need a special name when you become a racer.
Well, it was nice to meet you. I've got to run. See you, Mala.
Because when we looked at that card, it was just like, I wonder if Joe would like this picture. And we're like, who's Joe? Yeah, when I saw Drawfee's video on the content, it's interesting how the timing blocked the artistic thought process. Yeah. Timed essays for AP English. I'd waste the first 3 minutes panicking where I allowed my thoughts to even... Yeah. Yeah. That I think is a little bit of the problem, too, is like... Sometimes people, they just, like, they flourish under that pressure. You give them, 3 seconds, and all of a sudden, here's a masterpiece. It's just like, whoa, what? Other people, like myself, you give us, like, three minutes, and we're just like, here's a smiley face. I hope you like it. I can't, my brain shut down. I can't think of anything else. What is this? Fluent, okay. Is that everything in this area? Yes, it is. Let's head back. Oh, there's a holocache thing right there. Let's go ahead and check out the holocache. But yeah, timing, like I said, is kind of a double-edged sword, too. Because if you can take that pressure and like funnel it into the ability to work, man, you're as good as golden. But some of us, myself included, you put that time limit on us, and we're like deer in the headlights. Like, what is art? I can't spell it. Is it spelled R-A-T? No, that's rat. And then you just can't. I'm not like that with all things, but definitely art is one of those things. All right. 17985. Oh, 725. We're not taking his money. That's rude. But yeah, it's crazy. Crazy what time limits make you do. And I think that's also why I was talking about it earlier. Why blocking out time to do stuff is really helpful. because you're like, hey, this 2 hours I'm going to be making something, right? And at the, you know, that means by the end of the 2 hours, you want to have something, right? You want to have a tree. So it kind of like limits you, it focuses you, because like it's like, okay, well, I got 2 hours to spend drawing or writing or you know, making something, and it really helps you focus, at least for me. So I recommend, like, especially for if you're trying to pick up a hobby or you know you want to get better at something. I don't know why I'm weaving around with this cars. It's not like there's any road here. All right, so we're gonna go up here, clear this out, and then we'll head back down to our objective. But yeah, block you out some time. Just sit there and go, okay, 2 hours. Like I said, after the stream today, 2 hours of time at least set aside for me to spend some time learning more digital drawing stuff. Okay, you know, I'm not expecting to have any amazing piece. In fact, today, my plan is really to spend the time learning how to draw eyes. So I'm gonna literally pull up my Photoshop and a video that's gonna, you know, or multiple videos that teach me how to draw eyes in different ways, and I'm just gonna spend an entire time making entire sheets of papers of just eyes, which sounds really weird, but it's practice. But I've set out, you know, 2 hours, 2 or 3, I don't remember, I'll have to look at my schedule. Two or 3 hours to, I wonder what a purse gets us. I don't know. We got money. Let's buy a purse.
Thanks.
I look forward to...
I don't know if it, like, because it's not going to give us more inventory space. There's no limit on the space. Nothing. It does nothing. Hey, you want your purse back?
Here.
Okay. Definitely deer in the headlights. If I don't make myself stop, though, I'll keep creating until I had grumbles from hunger. Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh yeah, I think that's both the best feeling and the worst feeling, is when you're working on something and you're just like, you're so into it, you're enjoying making the piece, and then like you look down and it's like been like 4 hours and you're like, where'd the time go? What time is it? What year is this?
Nivalis to Luna in only 4 hours. First class luxury the whole way. The Strayas colony to
But yeah, sometimes it's really nice to lose yourself in that. Okay. Oh, there we go.
Hi, I have a card to return. It's Mr. Spacula's.
Please place the card in the mail receptacle.
Is there a reward for this or something?
Please hold.
We should have just kept the card, Camus.
That's what I said.
You did not.
Please note the authorization code from Mr. Spacula, 78D54.
What do I do with this?
Use this code at a holocash machine to claim your reward. Thank you.
Thanks.
Alright, so he had $795 in his account. So next time we're at a holocash, we'll have to remember that. Oh, I'm gonna write that down, just because I'm curious to see. $795. I'm just curious, like, how much, like, what's the ratio of how much the reward he gives you based on how much he had. So this has to go up, which I'm guessing is what this stuff's for. So let's go across and see if we can get any of these. But what year is it? Who's president? More wine? Yeah. But yeah, hobbies and drawing are great sometimes. Just taking yourself out of the situation just to work on something, to have fun with something is great sometimes. Sometimes it's like the worst experience for you, because you just start dwelling on how, like I was talking about earlier, how everything is not perfect. Why is it not, you know, I'm terrible at this. Nah, don't go that far. Just have fun with it, enjoy it, make your peace, you know, move on to the next. Still, so haven't had any. I think we had like, yeah, we have 25 of those. haven't had anything that asks for those yet, but we're holding on to them because we've had something ask for coolant, electronics, batteries. We haven't had anything ask for plasteel, memory chips, or broken augments yet. And we don't really have a need for money so far, so I don't really intend on spending or selling the stuff unless we. Sushi plate, bubblegum.
Thanks for this.
Y'all come back.
Yeah. So, Punctress pointed out, she's just walking around with a hand, and not like a robot hand. That specifically says or a human hand. I almost said robot again. A human hand. Although it is interesting. It says it appears to be wearing a wedding ring, but it's on the index finger. So that's an interesting change. I also have cherry pie. I got an achievement for buying this cherry pie. And also, it should be cherry pie because he says it tastes like cherries. Alright, I'm interested. We're going to time something. I'm going to go from this rail to that rail. We're going to see how long it takes. 1, 2, 2.5. Okay. Now we're going to drink this soda and see if it actually makes us faster or if it's just one of those placebo effects.
It's alright.
1, 2. Okay, it does make you faster. Fair enough. But yeah, I don't know if I'd be okay with just like walking around with a human hand. Alright, so we gotta go back down. Almost as good as the real thing. Yeah. This game's good. It's got good humor. The characters are interesting. They do have a lot of satirical things, which is great because, like, I feel like you can't really do Cyberpunk well without some of that satire. No, it's of course approaching satire of our time, not satire of, you know, mentalities. Well, I guess in a way it's talking about mentalities. How do we get up here? Oh, maybe we take this up.
Simple, clear. That's your survey.
That's not the right button. Map. Where are we at? There we go. Okay. Oh, well, that's where we're parked. So yeah, we'll actually go down here and grab this stuff, and then we'll take this up to grab those. We need to go check this out though. How did we miss that? Which way is that? Is that east or west? It's east. North is currently down, so east is this way. But yeah, it's interesting because like when I was looking at reviews and stuff for this game, some people were giving it like negative reviews, like this game is really slow and there's not a lot to do, and I'm like, I see stuff to do. You know, there's areas to clear. Now, if you're not interested in like open world and environmental storytelling, I completely understand. Like this might be a boring game, but I like exploring open worlds. I like seeing environmental storytelling. What is this? Oh, more plasteel. But yeah, I was looking at reviews and they were like middling, and I was like, why are so many people not happy with this? But I read it and it was like almost like every negative review had like, oh, it's too boring, or it's too slow, or it's just a delivery simulator. And I'm like, okay, well, one, most delivery simulators, you don't get out of your car. You just drive up. It's like Crazy Taxis is a driving simulator. You pick up a person, you do crazy stuff, and then you send them on their way. It's far enough outside the realm of realism. I imagine some past Empire Society would think we were. Yeah. That is an interesting way of looking at it. this is an interesting art thing. Little sphere. Looks like a Death Star. I pointed this out on yesterday when I was playing. I do find it interesting that they decided to go with Japanese as the, you know, the cultural language. Because in a lot of Cyberpunks you see Chinese being the cultural language that took over, like in Blade Runner. But it's interesting choice. I like that. Well, it's interesting because this game, like, it knows that it's cyberpunk. It's taking that cyberpunk influence and it's working with it, but it's also putting their own spin on it, right?
I look forward to
both aesthetically with this more like voxel graphic look, but also with like where it goes and what the world's telling you. Where does this go? Does this go up? I think it goes up. Wait, I think we missed the item that we come over here for. I was reading reviews 12 hours over this. I couldn't see how they'd given a fair chance when they barely had time to play. Yeah, that's the thing that gets me too. Is when I look at a review and it's like they played like 0.4 hours. Like it's not even a whole hour. It's like this game doesn't even give you a whole lot in the first hour. It's just like, hey, your delivery driver picked this up to go take that somewhere. But the story starts evolving, right? Like you start meeting new characters. You get to explore the world. You see these NPCs and like the little girl that we talked to. You know, we found out like, you know, she lives in a rough industrial part of town, so she comes to this part so she can breathe fresher air. I don't think it's necessarily fresh air, but she breathes fresher air. She wants to be a racer. Like we learned that just by exploring. You know, that's something you didn't have to engage with. And they not only did they create that character, it's voiced. And that's one thing I think people forget about this too, because they're so used to like these AAA, you know, it has to be this polished and blah 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 blah. You know, all the sticks that you have to hit for it to be an amazing game. But that was voiced. That NPC, that little girl, was voiced. Just for you to find out that she wants to be a racer when she grows up, and that you can give her a trading card of the racer that you met, right? They didn't have to voice that. They didn't have to spend the money or the time voicing that, or even creating that character. Honestly, they didn't have to spend any of the time they did to create any of these segments. They could have just been like, you're in your Hova, you're delivering packages, pick up here, drop off there, done. And then they could just, you know, tell a story that way, right? But they went past that. They created this open world. They did look at this stuff. They did all of these assets, right? They created this world when they didn't really need to. The first streamer that I watched play this that has spent time exploring the open world instead of going objective to objective. Yeah, I mean, like I've said earlier in the stream, it might not be the most engaging gameplay to go through and look at this stuff, but you meet so many interesting characters. Like we found a credit card. It was a lost credit card, and now we not only are we getting a reward, we get to compare it, right? We get to look at it and go, okay, this guy had $795 into his account. I just saved him $795 plus the having to close his account. What is he going to pay us, right? What is our recompense for saving him that heartache? We get to compare that now that we've explored. That's something that, like, if you go to objective, you miss that, right? You don't get to see that interaction. You don't get to find out, like, oh, this guy gave us $50. We should have just, you know, took his money. I wouldn't have done that. I'm trying to play a morally, in most cases, morally right character, but this is because that's how I think. It's a D&D thought process. Like, if I was playing this character, what would I do, kind of thing. But yeah, that's why I always explore the world, because there's these little stories, this character right here, for example, the next one we're about to run up on, because we're going to park here and we're going to explore this and then hit our objective. This character, you don't have to talk to him. You don't even have to look at him, right? You don't have to anything. But this character was put in the game so you can interact with them. So do it. Interact with them. See what they're like. See what they want. You might already have it. Like, once again, we have a human hand in our inventory. This is an item you can miss. It's attached to a quest that you can also miss if you don't explore. I'm really interested to see where this is going to end up. Like, did someone cut a guy's hand off? Or a person's hand off? And they've been looking for their hand the entire time? Or did they do this because they replaced it with something? And now, you know, this reminds them of a story they don't want to remember? Like, we don't know. We gotta find them. This is the second rare video game. This is a nice, like, harken back to old video games. The first thing we found was on an audio disc, or audio cassette, right? That's a reference, like, most people don't even know. You used to have to connect a cassette player to the computer, and games were played and stored on audio cassettes. You would even save, like, you would pull out, you could either pull out or put in, you know, a different audio to save. And you would save on an audio tape, right? That's insane. That's crazy to think about nowadays. Now we just put in a thumb drive. I get 1.5 billion of them somewhere in a drawer. Like, and that's a floppy disk. Everybody knows floppies, but like the audio cassette, that's a pretty deep cut. I know plenty of people that didn't know that you could hook up an audio cassette player to like an old Commodore or something like that. I think it was Commodore. I know it was the TRS-80, which was the it was called the Trash 80, which was the Radio Shack, the old Radio Shack computer. But most people didn't know you played games off audio cassettes. They thought they were just audio cassettes, and that's something you can completely miss. Also, this game, piece of plastic with a label that is barely legible. It's pretty sure this is a video game, but it's floppy. That's a good joke. I guess it could be made out of magnetic tape like the other one. It's not. Well, kind of is. Although this is flat. It's called Darkmare. I wonder if that really was the best name they could come up with. See, that's witty. It's got a couple jokes in there. It's awesome. You can miss this item. You can completely just go, nah, I don't care about exploring. That's fine. If that's what you want to do. I like finding this stuff. I like reading this stuff. I like figuring out why is this happening, right? You know, I got an achievement for talking to a cherry pie guy, for him telling me that this is cherry pie, and then the character said, no, I don't want to do that, sorry. And she walks away. But if you go back, you can talk to him again, and you can buy this, and you get an achievement for that. Completely missable. I like that. I like that, you know, you give people the choice to engage. But...
Hello? Oh my god! Who are you? I haven't seen you here before. Come and speak to me.
Why are you shouting so much?
I'm not shouting! Not really. I could shout if you want. I just want to talk to you.
Fine, just keep it down. Who are you?
Oh my god! I'm Susie, and I love meeting new people. I'm so happy right now. I live for this.
You live for talking to strangers?
Yes! You know introverts and extroverts. You're an introvert, right?
There's no such thing. It's all just nonsense, like star signs or blood types.
But some people like to be more outgoing and meet new people. And some people like to stay home and read.
Everybody likes those things at different times. That's just being alive.
Well, I don't agree. You know extroverts? Well, I'm an extrovert. I was quiet and shy,
Extra.
but I got a neural mod that makes me super confident. Now, I can't stop meeting new people.
That sounds awful.
Extra is right. Yes, I totally agree, Punctures.
Well, I mean, maybe I could help. I could...
She's definitely extra.
I'm sorry. This is really dull. I need to talk to someone new. Could you move along, please?
Rude? Rude. That's what that is. That's just straight up rude. She effectively was like, I'm bored talking to you. Thanks? You're the one who flagged me over? Rude. we're gonna wait for this elevator. But that's the thing, is like, if people want to go objective to objective, that's cool. That's how they want to play. But I'd rather spend, you know, the extra 10 hours or whatever it takes to explore this stuff. Because, like, yeah, that last NPC interaction didn't really add anything to the gameplay. But if you're paying attention, it's a nod at a joke, right? It's a nod at, like, hey, people still think this stuff hundreds of years in the technological future, right? People still believe in the extrovert-introvert thing. Now, it's one of those, like, do people have tendencies towards certain things? Of course, and that's what she pointed out. She's like, that's just living. But that entire interaction, unnecessary, but fun, right? And now we have the term extrovert instead of extrovert, which is funny. I think that's funny. I think that's a great joke. Or as Camus said earlier, oh, a joke. I laugh at those. Great. Wait. Oh, there's another. Wait, am I missing something? It says it's up. But we were just up there. Is there another up? Oh, there is. Okay, so we have to get on this elevator. I'll wait on that. Yeah, but back to the review of the thing. Like, I always look at open worlds as there's either content to be had, or there's busy work, right? It's the two ways that you see open worlds done. Either it's like, you found another cave, here's some monsters, beat the monsters. Found another cave, beat the monsters. Find another cave, beat the monsters. Like, it's the Elder Scroll setup, right? It's a huge open world, but it's just mainly caves after caves after caves. I love that Ronnie has automatized their dog. Yeah. Want their pet to live forever. In this setting, they kind of can. Yes. That's really fun and really cool. It's also kind of sad, their first interaction, when she talks about that she had to sell his body. Like, that's kind of sad, but still well done. But yeah, in open world, there's the busy work, go clear the map open world, which can be fun. I enjoy that sometimes. I really like Elder Scrolls. I have all of the Elder Scrolls games. I haven't played all of them, mind you, because 1 and 2 are they're a bit of a thing. 2, not as much, but still a bit of a thing. And then there's open worlds like this, where everything we're doing interactively is important in some regard. Now you might be like, well, you're picking up garbage, right? Why is that important? Well, that's because we've used this item, coolant, to fix an elevator. We've used this item, which is the electronics, to fix an elevator. Oh, wait a second. I want to take the... Wait, we gotta go up again. Is there another... Am I missing things? I'm missing things. I think we have to take this elevator up again. Alright, well, while this goes up and down. But... Coolant, electronics, batteries. Batteries. We've used all 3 of those to fix elevators. Right? So that's had a direct connection with our ability to do stuff. Also, some of these punch cards for this quest, the return the punch cards, have been locked behind a broken elevator. Which means if we want to figure out what's going on with Evelyn, our next door neighbor, we have to interact with this content. We have to get those coolants. We have to get those electronics, and we have to figure out where these punch cards are hidden. By exploring, we get to figure out her story, which is going to be tragic. They've already We've already made it very clear. Got on the wrong elevator again. I'm great at elevators, guys. I promise. We get to find out what happened. But if we don't interact with that content, which is fine. Like I said, if people don't want to play the game, they just want to go main story, go main story. Enjoy the game. Play how you want. But that's the reason why I do this exploration, because I want to interact with this. I want to find out what Evelyn forced herself to forget, or had help to forget. Elevator Simulator 2020. Yep, we're great at elevators. Guess what? We're about to wait on another one. But like I said, it gives us time to talk. But yeah, like I like interacting with this content because like I said, we meet NPCs like Extra Girl down there. Was she useful to the story? Not even remotely. Was she useful as a character? Not really. Was she funny? Yeah. I thought she was. I thought she was. She was written with some wit. Cool. I think that makes it worth talking to her, even if it took like 4 minutes. You know. I'll even stop and talk to most of these people. These like waiters and stuff. And if they say, "Oh, here's what I have to offer,"
Thanks.
Okay, well, so what? You know.
I look forward to.
Wow, that took 10 seconds. But if we hadn't stopped, we wouldn't have met the cherry pie vendor. We wouldn't have cherry pie in our inventory, and we wouldn't have got an achievement for it. So, like I said, play the game how you will. But if you're going to review a game and say like, "Oh, it's boring because it doesn't have good content or engaging content," I'm sorry, I disagree. I think this has great content. I think it has great storytelling, and also the voice acting. Like, once again, think about this. This is an independent game. Independent game, independent studio. Think of this voice acting. I've seen AAA games that have had worse voice acting than this game. Investigate object. I don't like that sound.
I am being stolen.
Camus, did you get bored?
No, it is true. I am being stolen.
Shit, really? Lock the doors.
They are already inside.
Tell them to get out. Threaten them. Pretend you have an anti-theft subroutine.
They can hear you.
Why am I on speaker? Camus!
I am taking off. I am frightened.
They just stole our car.
Deactivate the Hava.
Can't. Hacked.
Hava, Automata, eject custom personality Camus data drive.
Eject? What if I fall into the ocean?
Then you'll float, I think.
You think? What if I get...
Damn it, eject Camus data drive, now!
Drive deactivated and ejected.
Camus? Camus! Shit. Think, Rania, think. The drive. It should be registered to me. I can track it on my comm.
Okay. That just escalated quickly. But, like I said, it all sums up to engage with the content how you want, but if you're going to review it, think more than the surface level of how long did it take to beat the game, you know, what was the main story about. Like, there's more to it in these types of games. It's not just like point-click adventure. You know, sometimes you got to go look for it. But like I said, it's not for everybody. That's fine. If you don't want to explore the open world, don't explore the open world. Engage with the story. Enjoy your story. Move on to your next game. That's cool. That's fine. There's no. That's another thing. I want to get this point across too. There's not like a right way to game, right? Just play the game. Have fun with it. You know. That's why, like, I've seen that discussion online too. It's like, well, you're playing the game wrong. I think if you're playing the game and you're having fun, you know, and you're not ruining other people's fun. See, that's the caveat that I'll have. Like, single player experiences don't have this problem because there's no other players. But if you're like hacking or cheating or whatever, that is probably where I'll cross into the, like, it's probably not the best way to play, or it's definitely the wrong way to play, in my opinion, because you're...
Damn it, Camus, I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to dry you off.
Because you're ruining someone else's experience
you
for your own
can't talk
enjoyment.
to me right now.
That's
You probably can't even hear me.
not okay
But
with
if you
that.
can, I'm going to fix this. This isn't going to be a pleasant phone call. Control? Control, can you hear me?
I read you, kid. You okay?
Yeah. No. Look, I have some bad news.
You lost the Hava?
Yes. How did you...
We track it. Listen, this one ain't on you, kid. Don't sweat it. Happens all the time.
What? Seriously?
Hava jacking? Oh yeah. Surprised it hasn't happened already.
So, am I fired or not?
Kid, we got insurance. You weren't hurt. But more important, you didn't lose a package.
But what do I do without a Hava?
I'm not gonna lie. We got a pretty generous repair-replace policy. I'm not saying we're happy when some slum ganger steals a Hava that's 2 months over its predicted expiry date. Well, actually, I am gonna say it because it's true.
Past its expiry date? How much of a junker was I driving?
Hey, don't worry about it, kid. It got pinched before it fell out of the sky. Best outcome for everyone.
Not for me. Not for my... What the hell am I supposed to do now?
Relax. You're real close to one of our suppliers. I'm sending a nav point for Grimm's Hava Mall. You ain't gonna find a Spire limousine from old Grimm, but any Hava he has will be better than what you were in before.
Cool.
Choose anything you want. On us. Just tell Grimm that Cloudpunk sent you. Control out.
Cool.
Hold on, Camus. I'll get you back as soon as I can.
Get a new vehicle. Sweet. Huntress said, I wish the only thing, ability to choose how you respond to the stimulus the game provides, but on the other hand, you play as Rana, who's on Arquette. Yeah, like, I'm okay with the protagonist having, like the pre-written stuff, especially, with voice acting the way it is. Like, if they had more lines, that's more money. Once again, independent studio, so they might not have access to that kind of time or cash. Because the voice acting is great. But yeah, sometimes it'd be nice to kind of make a decision. But they do give you, like, these decisions, right? They still have it to where it's like, oh, well, you could have just stole that guy's money out of his bank account, or you can deliver this package here or there. Like, they do still give you choices, but they don't give you choices on, like, what to say. So, I see what you're getting at.
How you doing? You're looking good. Windy out there? That's just how your hair looks. Beautiful.
Car salesman.
I got a brand new open top Malichka for you. I know what you read about them, but it's all wrong. These models don't go on fire half as much as people say. We got customer
Half
reviews
as
up in
much.
the high threes on this.
It's twice as much.
What I want to know from you is, what are your reasons for not buying this Hova? You got none, right? I'm gonna put you down for one, and I even got a discount for you because I love you people from out in the East. You know, with the music and that funny thing you do with the chanting.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Everyone.
You're gonna love this one, unless you want something more upmarket. In that case, I got you.
I'm from Cloudpunk. You're supposed to give me whatever I want.
Geez, lady, why didn't you say? I was using my best pitch on you. Yeah, have a look around. Then when you decide, just hop in. Cloudpunk pays me either way. So if you'll excuse me, I got real customers to deal with.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, thanks for all your help.
So wait, we get to just choose? Oh, wow, that's cool. We get to pick what our Hova looks like. Hello. Oh, this is tough. I didn't think we were gonna get a car choice. I like this one. Not a fan of this one. This looks like they just ripped the tires off of a car. Not a fan of that. This one's okay. Don't mind that one. But I do like going for the one that doesn't look like any of the other cars. I like this, like, very spaceship-esque, like, if it had guns on it, it would be a fighter ship kind of thing. I think that's kind of cool. Because, like, the rest of them look like cars, and then there's this one, right? I think we might go with that one. I don't know. It's choice between that one and probably this one. What do you guys think? Car 3 or car 6. And of course this is car 6. Because should we go for looks kind of like the DeLorean but with a bigger back end, or the might be Star Wars reference ship? Toss a coin. Okay. That's something I should probably keep near my desk. I don't have a coin. Oh yeah, dude. There we go. Got one. Alright. Heads we go with 3, tails we go with 6. Tails. I don't know if you can see that, but tails it is. So we go with 6. There we go. Boom. Sweet. Oh, there were a couple cars over here. Oops.
Automata. Please say your name, sir.
There were 2 cars over there.
Install new automata custom.
That looks like an actual taxi.
I have it on a data drive.
Kind of sad we missed those, but I still like what we got.
Activation.
Charge it to Cloudpunk. How long will it take to... Camus, are you okay?
Yes. What happened? I was stolen.
We bailed you out on the data drive, and I found you in a puddle. Then Cloudpunk sprung for a new Hava.
It feels different, bigger. I can think more clearly. This is an improvement.
Seems like it. I thought it would take a while to activate you. Did it feel like you were gone long?
Everything was black and I was floating. It was quiet.
Well, I'm glad you're back.
Me too. Being bored is better than being stolen. I wanted to ask a question.
What is it?
Yeah, Camus is now
What happened to Mom?
Is now a Star Wars.
You've been offline for a while, Camus.
Wait, we can't
Mom
park?
isn't around anymore.
Oh.
Do you really want to know what happened?
Will it make me sad?
Yes.
Being a car is fun, but I am excited to get a new frame. Do I have to be a dog again?
Well, you don't have to be. You could be a cat.
Oh no.
I thought you would say that.
What about another animal? A bear or beep, beep.
Why are you beeping?
We are being called in by Cloudpunk for a Hova overhaul.
I thought Control said we could choose any Hava we wanted. Are they
I
checking
wonder why
up
we
on
need an
us?
overhaul.
I don't know. Beep. But we have a nav point and beep. The beeping is not stopping.
Fine. Let's just get to the nav point.
Well, that makes me sad. I wanted to go over here and check the holocache thing, but we can't land apparently. So that's fine. There's plenty of holocache places around, so we'll get it. We'll claim our reward. Oh, boop, 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 boop. Oh, I wonder. We should check. We should check to see if we can put our parts into this vehicle. Okay, so I'm going to retract my statement from earlier. I said I wasn't too jazzed about the stuff being in your inventory. Now that this has happened, I understand why. Also, this guy, I'm being driven by a different car. People are the worst. So now that the car has been stolen and we get a new one, I understand why it's in your inventory now. Because it would be weird programming to have to be like, okay, now it's not in this car, it's in this new vehicle, and yeah. So cool, I get it now. Now if we quit bumping into everything,
What's wrong? Camus, controls are frozen, and the doors are locked. We can't even land.
It hurts. They're holding us. It's...
Your vehicle is currently being locked down by CorpSec authority based on a data access violation.
Can't catch out. Break.
Please take your hand off your controls and deactivate your automata.
I am fighting. Ouch. I can try to...
It's no use, Camus. You'll just overheat your processor. Shut down for now.
but...
I didn't do anything.
It'll be okay. Just go offline.
Custom automata personality Camus now offline.
I didn't do anything. It wasn't me.
Your vehicle will be set on an automatic course for the nearest CorpSec debriefing center. Your next of kin shall be notified. If you have any corporate connections or exacerbating finance options available, now would be the time to notify us.
I've got no money and no friends here.
Very well. You will now be...
What the hell?
Good to see you're still moving, Rania. I've bailed you out here. I just used up some serious clock cycles on you today. My top hacker Rubric just bought you some time. Those CorpSec network protections were no match for his skills. You better move fast, though. If you can get to me in time, I might be able to clear out this mess for you.
Why are you doing this?
I've taken a liking to you. Now hurry on over. You must be worried about how you can pay me back for this. But I got good news for you. I thought of a favor you can do for me already.
I don't like the sound of that. Alright, where are we going? Alright, Gallows again. Okay. Yeah, I'm with you, Punctress. I don't know if I like where this is going. I think we established that he was like a crime boss. So, being indebted to a crime boss is not something I would classify as a good time. So, we will see. Nothing could possibly go wrong. You got it, Punctress. Yep, nope. You have nothing to worry about. Except for the fact that all these people drive like crazy people. They're trying to, like, knock my car off the road for some reason. Alright, so 2 intersections after this one. Yeah, 1 intersection technically. This way. And then we'll go this way. I'll run into stuff. I think this car is much faster. It's got better handling. But then again, they did say the other one was like a garbage truck, basically. Alright. Here we go. Figure out what Lomo wants. Wait, is there a holocast station around here? I wonder who that is. No, there's no cast station around here, unfortunately. We'll get our reward eventually.
You brought me more juice?
No,
No juice, no jet.
I'm not here for the job.
Unless you give me a reason you should get in, you ain't getting in.
Does Lomo know you're dealing at the door?
I'm not dealing. Just go in and keep your mouth.
Where are you? I still don't feel good. Are you in danger? Can I help? Is it dangerous?
Yes, it's dangerous. I'm about to meet the most feared criminal in this city, and I have to watch what I say. I need to look cool, so stop calling me on the comm and asking if it's dangerous. Try to keep calm.
Yes, I am calm. Very calm.
Just wait for me.
Hey.
I'll sort this out as best I can. Then you should be unlocked and we can get out of here.
This guy right here. This guy with the gray hair. Is that Control?
Rania, good
or
to
is
see
that
you.
Rubric?
What's going on, Lomo? How did I get away from CorpSec?
Why is more relevant to your current situation?
You hacked CorpSec?
Not personally.
How can that be? CorpSec nets are way above the hard lines we can access down here.
This might not be obvious when you look at your surroundings, but I'm a man with significant resources right now. I can afford to purchase enough clock cycles from high-level mainframes to get work done when needed. Though, even I had enough second thoughts when I considered the costs involved to save you. But, of course, anything for a friend. I even put Rubric on the case. You've heard of him, of course?
I guess.
I have a lot of names. You'd be familiar with a few.
Rubric will even be helping with the favor.
Don't like that guy.
Do you
That guy's
remember the favor?
That guy's bad business.
What do you want?
I need someone I can trust to take a package through a null gate.
Why not just let CorpSec arrest me? Null gates scan a vehicle at the molecular level. That's the point. You can't smuggle anything
Sketchy.
through.
Yeah,
You have
sketchy
the
is.
shape of the problem in your mind.
Yeah, no,
but
this
you
guy.
don't see the details.
Nope. Don't like this guy.
Null gate can't be fooled, but the person operating it can.
You don't need to know the technicalities, Rania.
For some reason, I still trust Lomo. Then I do Rubric.
Higher state of consciousness. But there are also patterns
He's a crime
which
lord.
inhibit our
The other guy is the hacker.
These
Don't trust
recurring,
that guy.
distracting patterns have been cropping up for the CorpSec gatekeepers across all their media feeds for some time now.
You hypnotize them?
That's an old-fashioned way of looking at it. Let's just say their attention has been diluted, and they are more likely to see what we want.
Maybe he has a low charisma score.
I must be honest, Rania. The chances of you making it through
Yeah,
are
I
not
think
100%.
he has a no charisma score.
About
Unless he put all of his points in intimidation, in which case he wins.
Before you despair, Rania, know this. If you make this delivery, I'll be in a position to pardon you of your crimes.
Huh.
A clean slate is tempting, no?
And if I walk out of here?
Oh, of course. I will completely understand. It is risky, I admit. But we will keep your vehicle, scrap it for parts. You see, CorpSec are looking for it anyway. And though we won't tell CorpSec where to look for you, I'm afraid they won't struggle to find you. Your offense is not severe enough to send you to the college, but you won't work again.
I'll find some way to make money.
No doubt, Rania. I applaud your entrepreneurial spirit. But while you are looking for gainful employment, how long until the debt corps find you?
How do you know about... Fine, I'll do it.
Splendid. Now, about this package. They don't tell you what's in the package at Cloudpunk, do they? I'll tell you.
Think about it, Rania was a
if you
bard.
ask.
What am I delivering?
You're delivering hope, Rania. That package contains a potential cure for Pallet 3.0.
That's a computer virus, right?
I've said all I can say. Get running, little rabbit.
Okay. Lateral boosters. Yay. Wait. Up. No. Down? I don't know. Oh, no, lateral is this way. Now that I think about it. If you're moving laterally, you're doing this. That's cool. I'll have to look at that upgrade. I don't know. I don't know if I... Like, she is a musician, and, you know, there's the tie-in with the bar and music. But...
In only 4 hours.
Hmm.
First class luxury the whole way. Astrea's Colony Tours. We'll take you so close to the stars you'll feel like one.
I think this game kind of puts her in the roguish category. You know, because the whole, like, sneaking around and delivering stuff. The illicit stuff. But, yeah, I don't know. I guess Bard would work. Because Bard's kind of... They can be kind of roguish at times.
I am nervous. Are you nervous? I am feeling very nervous. I am very surprised you are not nervous right now.
Please stop talking.
I will stop talking about how nervous I am now, even though I really am very nervous.
We'll be fine. The hacker guy, Rubric, says the corpse
Hacker guy,
won't even
Rubric.
notice us.
That's how we're going to refer to him from this point on.
Me neither, but we have to do this, Chemis. This guy Lomo seems
Oh,
to be
I
a
see.
big
Yeah,
deal.
was the
I
key
don't
word.
think we can
Maybe
afford
she gave it
let
up to
him
change
down.
class. Yeah.
Maybe even after we do this favor, he will ask for even more favors.
Camus, sometimes you can say something clever, but it doesn't make things better. Do you understand?
No.
It's fine. Let's just get through the null gate, then we'll see what happens.
this way. Yeah, maybe it was a class change. In more ways than one, actually. She seemed like she had a pretty good life, and now she's, you know, delivering illicit goods and being forced to work for crime bosses. So, almost ruined it there. All right. Helps if I was on the right side of the building. There we go. Hey, we park now. Cool. Let's talk to this guy. How much are laterals? 500. Lateral boosters with low latency. They should help us weave through traffic.
Yes, please.
What she said. Yes, please. So, I think that is actually going to have us for today. I'm going to get off and make myself some lunch. We'll be continuing this tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and switch. Switch. Oh, yes, we can leave it there. But yeah, we'll continue this tomorrow. I hope you'll be excited to join me. We start at 9 o'clock Central Time, which is 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern, I believe. So, if you're past if you're not in America, I don't know time zones outside of America. Sorry. I guess like add 5 hours to that. But yeah, we'll play more of this tomorrow. We go from 9 in the morning to 12:30 around that time. So I'm gonna get some lunch, and then I've got some projects to work on. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope to see you tomorrow. Thank you everybody for coming. Don't forget to follow the channel. I believe the button's up there. Follow the channel so you don't miss when we go live, and you can continue along with our adventure while we explore the wonderful world of Cloudpunk, and maybe commit a few crimes, apparently. Thank you again, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.